All right, Liam, thank you very much. The Bounce House is ready to bring it. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to homecoming here in Orlando. It's Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo, and today someone gets their first league win as the Knights host the Mountaineers. And with Mike Jr., I am JB Long, and there sure are a lot of similarities between these two rebuilding programs.
Yeah, homecoming here today, and homecoming for both coaches. 30 new FBS head coaches this last season. Only 2 of them going back to jobs who they previously coached. UCF Scott Frost and West Virginia's Rich Rodriguez, both trying to get their first Big 12 win of this new tenure.
We'll talk quarterbacks in just a second, but both coaches feel like they're on the verge of a breakthrough. What reason might they have today?
Yeah, they always say success leaves clues, and I feel like defensively both of these teams have some clues that have shown up here. UCF gave up their first quarter points just this fourth quarter scoring. They've been able to start fast and finish strong, while West Virginia's done a great job of taking the football away. 10 turnovers on the season, including 4 fumble recoveries. And JB, both defenses know they've got to give their offenses added opportunities with all the quarterback turnover we've seen this year.
As for the latest on that quarterback carousel, let's go down to the third member of our team. Here is Lauren Jabara.
JB, yeah, so many different quarterback decisions being made today for the West Virginia Mountaineers. They're starting true freshman Scotty Fox Jr., his first career start, and the first freshman to start for WVU since 1952. Head coach Rich Rodriguez told me they had to tweak the offense on the flex city to stay competitive, but simplifying things to help their young quarterback adjust in real time. Now, across the field, the focus at UCF shifts to Taven Jackson, now the starter, with Cam Fancher sidelined for the next few weeks after x-rays revealed 2 broken ribs. Head coach Scott Frost told me Taven's arm talent is elite. He throws better than some guys playing on Sundays, but what he wants now is faster processing to match that arm. Jackson told me he likes to keep things loose. He's a fun guy. He can lock in when it's time, but it's more than football. It's about relationships and letting my teammates know I've got their back. Now with Fancher out, you guys, this stretch is huge for Taven to take full command of this UCF offense over the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a fun homecoming. Can't wait.
All right, Lauren, thank you very much. Yeah, the week began with Scott Frost saying Monday it might be all hands on deck at quarterback. Did not play out that way over the course of the week. UCF did win the toss. The Knights elect to defer, and so that means we will get our first look at Scotty Fox, the freshman from Mentor, Ohio, in a starting role for the Mountaineers. As Lauren said, the first true freshman Mountaineer to start in Rich Rodriguez's lifetime, let's say.
And the 4th new quarterback to start in as many games. With change as the only constant, JB, and with a true freshman making his first start, you want to go out there and manage all of the little parts of this. Take care of the things that you can control, the snap count, getting everyone on the same page, and getting to that opportunity to try and make some plays today here in the Bounce House.
We are in the city beautiful, and what a day it is. 2017 was the last 1 p.m. kickoff here at the Bounce House. We're just shy of 80 degrees. West Virginia has won all 4 in the series. All 4 of those wins have been by double digits. UCF trying to snap its October losing streak as they boot it away. Noe Ruelas is their place kicker, and we are set. From the Bounce House in Orlando, West Virginia, and UCF on TNT. Here we go. Seventh game of the season for the Mountaineers. Their 4th starting quarterback. Fox played a half dozen snaps before the bye at BYU in primetime. He went 3 for 3 with a touchdown while rushing for 22 additional yards.
And I think they're looking for that added spark in the passing game. We know West Virginia can run the football, averaging just over 206 yards on the season per game, but they want to add that downfield element, try and give defenses even more to account for.
They open with Sincere Bowers in their backfields. West Virginia gets the first touch on offense. Fox off the pump fake, pushing the ball downfield, and flags rain down on an incompletion. Antoine Jackson in coverage on Jeff Weimer.
Getting your freshman quarterback off to an easy start, designed rollout.
Number 7, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And JB, you see there, had one underneath option, one deep option. The underneath's covered down, and so he gives a high ball, gives his receiver a chance to come back, especially with the defender's back turn. Great drawing of that penalty to start this drive.
So Wittrod's old vet at receiver earns them a chunk opportunity early. Bowers is stuffed on his first carry. So a lot of the penalties have been on offense for UCF, but they begin this day with a flag on defense, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a difficulty and something Scott Frost says you can only do so much to address in practice. This is about being ready and maintaining poise in key moments in games.
Fox getting set in front of a troubling offensive line. I think for their best performance of the season in front of a new freshman quarterback as Malachi Lawrence defends his edge and puts Scotty Fox in third down with a gain of only 2. From empty against a 4-man rush. Tries to leave the pocket and runs into trouble. A sack to begin the day for the UCF Knights.
And just a great job on the back end staying connected in coverage that allows this defensive line the time to corral a young quarterback and keep him in the pocket. You're going to look and see on the back end, there's nothing fancy about here. They drop 7 in coverage. There aren't a lot of windows, and then you get that bit of flash of color coming from the right side from what looked like Nigel Kelly. And then the rest of your defense maintains their rush lane integrity and corrals the quarterback to force the punt.
R.J. Jackson picks up the sack. He was brought in to help fill the void left by Lee Hunter's departure for Lubbock. Antoine Jackson lets it hit at the 5. It checks up beautifully and tumbles to the 1. Oliver Straw, the senior. His 4th year at West Virginia in the neighborhood of 65 yards.
And let's keep an eye and see where his foot is as he slides right here. And no, he's not touching the football while his foot, ooh, it's going to be interesting there. His foot touching in the end zone while he's the one to down the football right there.
Where the ball is that matters, and for now it's down at the 1. Maybe the 2. Yeah, I think based on the initial contact by the coverage team, they mark between the 2 and the 3 there, Mike.
Yep, and again in college, you're just waiting to see, does the ball cross the plane at all in the goal line? The answer is no, and so UCF starts this drive back up.
As Warren told us, Taven Jackson at the switch. Miles Montgomery, his starting tailback, from his own end zone. A run to the left side. He hits the alley. He hits the sideline to the 40 and more. 10th in the conference in yards per carry. That will skyrocket after this tote of 39 yards.
Great burst from one of the leaders on this offense, stepping up to make a big play to get them out of their own end zone.
Off the play fake. Drives one middle. That's caught for another first down. Dylan Wade gang tackled, the junior from right here in Orlando, working through a shoulder injury. He's got 12 on the toss from Jackson.
Talk about that arm talent. The ball a little behind, but able to drive it right in there and continue to move the chains.
Now down the line, and that is blown up. Did the play get off? Whistles kill it, I think, before that tackle for loss as they try to put it in the hands of DJ Black.
There was no snap on the play. There is a malfunction with the chain equipment.
Might have bailed them out there because Jason Chambers smelled that one from the jump and blew that thing up out on the edge.
Tuta Salam, our referee today. There's a look at Chambers.
And here's a look at that Miles Montgomery run. Backed up. Great blocking there. You saw coming from Marcus Burke, the wide receiver, getting down and dirty in the box. I always say, JB, good runs happen when the O-line blocks. Great runs happen when the wide receivers stick their nose in there.
Yeah, no Paul Rubel at left tackle today, and that's where they target their first big run of the day. Now wide of the mark on the speed outs. And they fed back on the previous play and look to link up at the sideline here. You get a look at the rest of the night starters today on homecoming weekend.
Want to keep your eyes on Dwayne Thomas. He's their move piece. They're going to put him all over, put him in motion, try and create an advantageous matchup for an incredible athlete.
That's a good call out, Mike. On 2nd and 10 across midfield. He's the number 2 receiver to the bottom there. The right slot as Taven Jackson surveys this West Virginia defense. At the mesh point, he pulls. With some air underneath, it's at the 10, incomplete. No flags down. And it was Dwayne Thomas Jr., known as Speedy around these parts, that he was trying to hit. Curtis Jones Jr. in coverage.
And Speedy was out and had plenty of room on that one. And kind of similar to what we saw in the first play for West Virginia, buy him up with the play action sell. The ball's a bit underthrown, and then he tries to come back. And usually that kind of contact's going to draw a flag. I'm stunned they didn't throw it there. It was almost exactly what we saw on the other side to start this game.
UCF converting at less than 30% on third down in conference play. Here's an early test for Taven Jackson. Well protected, checks it down. Let's see if Montgomery can find the sticks. Dips his shoulder at the 39-yard line. That leaves about 3 to go. And Frost keeping his offense on the field. Reed Carrico with the hit defensively for the Mountaineers.
Using a lot of tempo early, but slowing it down now. And the right decision. You're in a bit of no man's land here. Your offense is able to make some big plays, and they're going to empty it out and go 5 wide and try and give Taven Jackson a clear picture.
As third down has been, fourth down has been terrific for these UCF Knights. I think they converted their first 8 to begin their season. 10 left to snap it as they get realigned. Jackson a weapon with his feet. Pressure off his edge, he takes off. Fourth down throw. Inside the 10, it's a touchdown! Chris Damerkants, 40 yards. The senior from Bellingham, Mass, with his first here in Orlando.
Well, Scott Frost told us, he said he can make all the throws, he can make the off-platform stuff that's so popular now, and you see when a quarterback breaks contain, all the eyes from the defense start to wander down to him, and he's got the ability rolling away from his strong arm to make that throw across his body to the end zone. A great start to this great game and a great jolt in the downfield passing attack for UCF.
Again with a third down sack to set up Taven Jackson's full field drive, an explosive run as a drive starter, and he caps it with a fourth down touchdown toss.
Rolling out and finds his man, Taven Jackson getting the start and getting it started.
Big 12 college football on TNT Sports is presented by Modelo, the official beer of the college football playoff. And by Vanda Pharmaceuticals, innovating in the pursuits of people's happiness. A 97-yard drive to begin the day. Homecoming weekend for UCF. They cap it with a 40-yard touchdown toss from Taven Jackson to Chris Damerkants.
More like Damerkan, am I right? I'm so sorry.
I didn't know how long you were going to leave that alley-oop in the air, but thank you for bringing it down, Mike Rowland Jr. Next time, say it with your chest, okay? No puns under our breath, not here. That's out of bounds, and they'll give us time to go back to that touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team. The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, first down.
All right, let's take a look at the touchdown. And you go back, fourth down, and their efficiency this year is about having a plan. You see an all-up look, 2 linebackers in the A-gap, and they start off 5 wide. So they see that look. Taven Jackson slows it down, and we get the shift in here that backs these linebackers out. Now the quarterback knows, all right, I'm likely getting a 4-man rush, and I'll have time to go back there and make the right decision. He does, buys time, touchdown on the board.
So Fox back to work, trailing a touchdown now as they sweep the receiver around, and he climbs above the 40. Rodney Gallagher, the junior from Uniontown, PA, with a gain of 7.
Both offenses utilizing some tempo, trying to get their quarterback settled down and in rhythm.
At the mesh point, he gives again, sifting through traffic. There's a first down, approaching midfield for Sincere Bowers, who got through concussion protocol, and they'll need him today, running back one of the depleted position groups for these Mountaineers.
Certainly, but a great opportunity. You mentioned Jaheim White already out, Ty Edwards in the same boat. So both these players going to see an uptick in reps, and like a lot of guys in these new programs where you've got so much roster turnover year over year, you got a chance to show coaches who's deserving of this time on the field.
Fox from a 2-back set. Once again, UCF able to stack it up at line of scrimmage, but Bowers drills to midfield for 3. Alex Grinch is Mountaineers defense has put together some good performances, most recently in that second half at Cincinnati. The fight has been real, according to Grinch.
Limited Cincinnati to just 3 points in the second half. Their fewest since that first loss to Nebraska.
Fox diving into Knights territory, and he moves the sticks at the 42. He's appearing in his 5th game today, so he burns his red shirt with this start at UCF.
And him utilizing his legs early is important. They got a deep pass under their belt on the first play, so the defense has to respect that. They've had a few design plays, a couple of scrambles, and they're the design draw, all giving the defense something to think about.
Still looking for that first completion. They stay with Gallagher. He busts a tackle and is close to another new set of downs. The Mountaineers, as you might expect, given their head coach and play caller, top 25 nationally in rushing offense. Nigel Kelly on the edge with the tackle.
8 different players with a rushing touchdown this season. You just never know where it's going to come from.
Fox is one of them. Only needed a yard on second and short. Bowers had 54 yards on 6 carries with a 26-yard touchdown in that opening win against Robert Morris, but only had 7 carries for 8 yards since, so they're casting him in a leading role in his return to the lineup today.
We've seen a lot of east-west action from West Virginia, that fly motion, trying to get these safeties to bite down so they can get ready to let another one rip deep down the field.
Scotty Fox drops back at the 40. Ran right into Cole Kozlowski, -9.
Got his first FBS sack a few weeks ago against Kansas after 3 years at Colgate. And that's just another one. They unwrap him on the side over here, and then he does a great job aiming for that outside hip of the quarterback.
Second down and long to the air, and a leaping catch made by Cam Vaughn below the 35-yard line. Draped all over him. Third down and more than the chains. Fox puts the ball up high and sails it to the goal line. It's 4th down in the fringe. Damari Henderson in coverage there. What will Rodriguez do at this point at the 8-minute mark, first quarter?
They just tried to go slot fade here, but great coverage by Damari Henderson at safety, just staying with him stride for stride. Cam Vaughn tries to get physical with him at the top of the route, and it appears Rich Rodriguez is going to let them try and cut it loose here.
Dior Hubbard flanking Scotty Fox. 4-man rush. Get home. Fox slips out. But it's a 4th down takeaway for Kelly and the Knights.
Another great play by Nigel Kelly, something they're getting used to on this defense. Honorable mention all Big 12 last season. And JB, no issue with the decision there. You're in no man's land. It could be an arm punt, and instead it ends up as a UCF sack. The offense coming back on the field.
Began with the shared storylines between these programs, both looking for their first league win today. Both have coaches returning to their roots, Mike, and where they were wildly successful their first time around.
Wildly successful, but you talk to both of them, who obviously had their own journeys since leaving these campuses and have come back to a completely different college football world. How they have to build rosters now in 2025 has given both staffs and both coaches a great challenge here, and maybe some fresh energy coming back to a place they feel like they know so well.
Knights dressed in black, coming off a 97-yard scoring drive, their longest of the season. Jaden Nixon bumps up to the 40.
Jaden Nixon, who had the monster game against North Carolina A&T, 156 yards rushing in that game. Great return man for this team as well.
With 3 pressed into the boundary, that's where they go. Black hit behind the line and drops. So that's twice now on a throw right side on the receiver screen that West Virginia has rallied to tackle.
And the first time it was Jason Chambers blowing that up on a play that got blown dead. This time, Michael Coates Jr., the transfer from Nevada, making his presence felt. Season identifies it and gets downhill in a hurry. Does a great job making a splash play. He was incredible last year, by the way. We had a chance to cover him in Nevada. First team All Mountain West. Sticky coverage.
opposing teams have pretty much stayed away from him until BYU went right after him and had a good night. Into West Virginia territory with another explosive. Taven Jackson layered it in beautifully. 25 yards to Dwayne Thomas.
Great look at this right here. You're going to have a route coming inside here, a post, buying it up in the middle of the field. And so you get a switch release right there on the outside. That outside defender bites up on the inside route. And just a great easy read for Taven Jackson, who continues to make good plays.
You get a beautiful look at the Sunday ball that he throws, according to his head coach, Scott Frost. Hits his back foot here. Protection breaks down. Off schedule. Wings one. Into trouble. And incomplete. Darian Lewis was closing on it from his safety spot. Jackson did enough to dump it out of bounds and see second down.
And thankfully kept that out of harm's way. It looked like it could be close because we know this is a UCF team that on defense has struggled to get the turnovers and takeaways that they're looking for. And so offensively, while that group tries to right that ship, you've got to make sure that you take good care of the football here and preserve what's been a productive drive so far.
UCF heading into its open weekend. West Virginia coming off its bye. Some misdirection. Hand off to Montgomery. West Virginia was not fooled. Chase Wilson is everywhere on this defense. He's a senior linebacker, and he wears their green dot.
Rich Rodriguez said, as good a leader as I've ever had. Already a guy that feels like he's been here for so long. And walks into this game, the only player in FBS with 2 more interceptions and 3 or more sacks. He's everywhere.
They've been able to get the takeaways. They just need to tamp down the explosives. And again, that's been an issue here early today. So Thomas, the motion man, they put it in his belly. The perimeter blocking. Barrels inside the 35.
And that's the kind of play that once again lets you know, hey, Scott Frost is thinking, I've got 4 downs here. When you call a run like that, trying to see if you can eat up enough yardage. Once again in no man's land, and your quarterback made a great play for a touchdown the last time on 4th down. So let's see how they window dress this to try and get Taven Jackson some information before the snap.
Carter Miller, their center, marches them to the line. From just inside the 35, they've got 4th down and about half the chains.
And same thing we saw last time, West Virginia getting a body late on the field now, too.
They have spent a timeout there, and they did.
Prior to the ball being snapped, West Virginia takes their first.
So
30 seconds in late.
Let's send it down to Lauren.
Taven Jackson knows what it's like, guys, to grow up in a competitive household. His older brother is Golden State Warriors forward Trace Jackson Davis, the former Indiana basketball star. And Taven told me their relationship growing up was a love-hate one. Trace was the disciplined older brother who pushed him hard, but as they got older, Taven told me that relationship shifted a little bit. He's like, oh, he's actually kind of cool. I like hanging out with this guy. And he told me the two of them talk all the time now, both chasing success in their own sports, but they're always supporting each other. Taven said once their playing days are over, he's excited for a time when they can just be brothers again, hanging out off the field. He said he's a competitor in everything from golf and basketball to bowling and snowboarding. He joked growing up they competed in almost every single sport, which was crazy. They even had their own bowling balls, guys. Ooh. Taven told me his broke, but bowling, a big thing in the locker room for UCF. It's amazing.
Mike, you're the brother expert in the booth. I'll give you a second here if this drive continues, but first let's attend to 4th down in the fringe area. The Knights just got a takeaway on downs on defense. Jackson trying to continue this march. 7-0 lead. Sets the laces, clean pocket, going vertical. Oh, and he drops it in the buckets. Back-to-back, 4th down touchdown for Taven Jackson and Chris Stubberkantz. This one measures 34.
Boy, JB, they say pressure, it bursts pipes or it makes diamonds, right? And everything is glimmering for UCF. What a great throw over the top, and West Virginia tried to change the shape on defense right before the snap. Give him something he wasn't ready for. And him and Stubberkantz have a great connection growing down here in plus territory on 4th down. Golly.
Last week scored on a 2-point conversion on a shovel pass. Chris carrying that right back home here to Orlando. He's got both touchdowns. And Ruelas trying to make it a 14-point lead.
All right.
Right down the fairway. What a start for UCF. It felt like they were close. It wasn't the talent that was lacking. It was the execution. Well, on fourth down, Scott Frost trusting Taven Jackson, who makes him right. Things that time had been fourth down today.
I tell you, special throws on both plays too, rolling to the left, throwing back with his right, and then here the touch down, knowing he's going to run out of real estate to be able to fit it in there and give his receiver a chance. An incredible start to the day for the quarterback that they've entrusted with the key to this offense once again.
And the third career multi-touchdown game for Dahmerkamp, his first at a night here at UCF. Knights at 3-3, looking to get their first Big 12 victory and another touchback. Will give us a chance to invite you to cheer on your favorite Big 12 teams with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com today. Well, they're pushing the game back onto Scotty Fox, and I'm not sure we're there yet, but it's getting to the point where West Virginia might have to come out of its comfort zone, Mike.
Yeah, you've been able to do a lot of play action, get him involved in the run, but a little more drop back passing could give this UCF defense a chance to pin their ears back.
Receiver sweep, and he hits a crease up near the 40-yard line. They bring Gerard Bowie in motion. West Virginia has 40 rushes of at least 10 yards this season. They're top 3 in a talented offensive conference here in the Big 12. Run to the strength here, and Barge to the 42. Damari Henderson gets a tackle. Good look at Sincere Bowers, the sophomore, his first year in Morgantown, last year at Iowa Central Community College.
The referee stopping as we got a UCF defender a little shaken up on that play.
Isaiah Nixon there, Mike. He's on the verge of eclipsing his tackle total from last season, and he's mentored by a fifth-year edge, Malachi Lawrence, whose name we've called a few times. Lawrence has emerged as a vocal leader here at the midway point of this season.
For a group that's got a lot of speed.
The player was injured prior to the ball being set.
New rule in place this year, we know, as there have been some concerns about players maybe feigning injuries to slow an offense down. So as long as it's before the ball is set, no harm, no foul.
That was the case here. We play on second down 6. Off the play fake. Fox hit from his blind side and swarmed. We'll give this one to Kelly on the rush, but he had help.
Give it to the coverage on the back end, an RPO play right here. So you're going to see the quarterback, when he snaps it, he's got the option to hand this ball off. But with the safety lurking right in the window there, you saw 2 guys back on the receiver he's eyeing. Nowhere to go.
Third down and long. Trouble on the edge, and they go back to back. This one belongs to Malachi Lawrence. UCF dominating all 3 phases.
And UCF remaining disciplined. West Virginia's shown you early when it comes to defined passing downs, third and long, opportunities where you know you're going to have to do it, they want to roll their quarterback out. They want to simplify the reads for him. But that time, Malachi Lawrence ready, knows the running back's coming his way, and maintains that outside leverage to make a big play.
4th sack of the season for the Knights. It's already a season high, 4th of the day, I should say, a season high. Antoine Jackson gets a chance. Oh, a stiff arm and dragged down from behind. Otherwise, that could have been special. 12 on the return. He puts it back in control of Taven Jackson.
Some great work in tight quarters there. The stiff arm in the hole, and then a shoestring tackle away from potentially even getting more out of that. But as a returner, you just want to get one extra first down for your team. I know we love the highlight reel plays, but that right there, incredibly productive and increases your chances of putting a scoring drive together with just that many more yards on the return.
Hopefully just a cramp on the sideline. We'll keep an eye on him. Jackson with Montgomery in his backfield, looking for a 3rd touchdown drive. Spits it out quickly into space. Good gain on first down, 6 yards and a drive starter with Wade and Charles, the freshman, pulled down by Israel Boyce.
Taven Jackson doing a great job of understanding what's available to him. All up at the line of scrimmage. I've got a wide receiver screen I can throw on the left if it's jammed up. Get the easy access yards.
Really felt in command at the line of scrimmage. Another good decision here. Dwayne Thomas Jr. makes 2 miss. And that thing turns nothing into something there. That play was dead to rights for all intents and purposes. He makes third down manageable.
He does, and we've seen a lot of aggression from West Virginia on the perimeter. Their corners doing a great job coming up and tackling. That means keep your eye out for a double move later on. I'm sure Scott Frost and this offense are looking at that, seeing an opportunity to potentially throw that pump and go later on and try and get another big play.
It's interesting you say that because they bring a tight end on. They also bring Connor Meadows, who is, an extra lineman into the formation. So they could be thinking short yardage run here with Miles Montgomery, or like you said, they might want to knock the top off the bounce house here in the opening quarter. They will run it. Leaping for the line to gain, I don't know. Montgomery repelled before he reaches the 40 by Asani Redwood. Offense not flinching. Frost in his play sheet.
Great job by West Virginia getting penetration up front. And I like this as go territory for Scott Frost.
Dare I say they've got the Mountaineers right where they like them. 4th down. It's produced 2 explosive touchdowns through the air so far. We're going to hit the final minute of the opening frame. It's been all nights on homecoming weekend. Shotgun snap and the give. Oh, the Mountaineers have penetration. They make them go the long way, and they take it away on downs. Curtis Jones Jr. with a momentum-shifting tackle.
Love that effort from a West Virginia defense that we said is majored in turnovers this year, and a turnover on downs just as good for your offense, JB. They had bodies up at the line of scrimmage. If UCF wants to get big, they were able to as well, and we talked about that discipline on the other side. That, to me, just as much about what Jason Chambers did there coming up in run support. Gives Curtis Jones time to track from the inside out and gives a new quarterback a chance for West Virginia on offense.
Will Wilkins behind center. With the start in plus territory. Design QB run. Oh, it is lethal. Into the high red area as the freshman from DC is on the field. A couple of Mountaineers colliding at that point of attack and slow to get up. Bowers is one. And I think Preston Fox the other. There's Fox. In his 6th season with the program, holding that right knee.
Had a 40-yard kickoff return against UCF last year. Certainly hope he can get up from this. We take another look. You're going to see him over on the left right here working to block downfield. And then his own man gets rolled up into him. Sincere Bowers coming from that other direction. And always difficult being at the point of attack, especially downfield as a wide receiver in those stalk block situations. As we see him get some help to the sideline.
And always in Rich Rodriguez's offenses, he asks so much of those receivers out in space to turn a positive gain into a chunk play.
Yeah, no block, no rock is a very appropriate statement for this team. And we see now with Khalil Wilkins coming in, who got his first start of the year last week and had the most rushing yards by a West Virginia quarterback in his first start since 1974, you know that's what they're probably going to major. And we thought Scotty Fox Jr. was coming in to try and exploit some of that downfield passing, give this offense an added element. They want to go back to their bread and butter right now.
He is their leading rusher, despite only starting that one game. They'll set him an empty here. Final moments of the first quarter. There goes Bowers in motion. Once again, it's Wilkins with a lead blocker. Down near the 10 with a new set of downs and a pickup of a dozen. Lewis Carter, the junior linebacker from Tampa, out of the return.
And you're going to see the motion coming across right before the snap is going to get all these linebackers going that way. And then the blocking up front, 2 pullers going left for the quarterback. Even faked the cameraman out. That's how good it was.
Wilkins working quickly. And this time the Knights respond. What could be the final play of a fast-moving first quarter, highlighted by 2 4th down touchdowns through the air for Taven Jackson and the Knights. So we're off the second. Mountaineers with a chance to answer back. And you are watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports. couple of Big 12 programs under construction. West Virginia looking to get on the board early second quarter, trailing UCF. Here's Rich Rodriguez with Lauren.
Thanks so much, Coach. Scotty gets the start. Khalil there on that last drive. What are you looking to see from him now in the second quarter?
Yeah, no throw to play. Khalil's run the ball well a little bit. You know, we got to get settled down a little bit on defense, gave him some big plays. Offensively, we just got to execute a little bit better.
Yeah, Taven airing it out for them on fourth downs. What's the key to slowing him in their offense?
Yeah, we made some mistakes there. We got a deep middle safety that didn't get deep enough, and we got to make a few corrections defensively, but we got a lot of football still left.
Coach, appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
All right. And Mike, if West Virginia can put this in the box, this game is on after trailing by 2 touchdowns.
Completely agree. And now here on second down, where I'd imagine you want to get in the end zone, 4-down territory, I'd keep an eye on tight end Ryan Ward, who's in here on this play. You've had so much east-west action, quarterback run, a tight end screaming right down the middle with all that could be wide open.
They've got a tight end on each wing for Wilkins as we begin the second quarter with a handoff. Punching through Dior Hubbard, another freshman, who was asked this week what he has learned from injured running back Jaheim White. I loved his answer. The good ones borrow, the great ones steal.
Hey, if you copy-paste some of that production on the field, I don't think anyone's going to sue you for plagiarism.
Mountaineers will spread them out here on third down in the red zone. 27th ranked red zone offense in all of college football, looking to answer the Knights back with Wilkins sprinting to the left side, and he gets in. Touchdown Mountaineers.
JB, I love this approach down in the low red zone when you've got a quarterback that can move. Spread him out, get him alone back here in the gun, and give him the opportunity to affect the game both ways. Watch the block out here at the end of that play from Rodney Gallagher. Working, straining at the end of that run, keeping his hands in tight and giving his quarterback a chance to sneak in the end zone.
Hensley is the place kicker, and the senior cuts the deficit in half. Scotty Fox got the start. Khalil Wilkins came in after a stop on downs for the West Virginia defense, and that has completely turned this homecoming around at UCF. We love drawing parallels between these two programs. One of them, legendary quarterbacks now on staff at West Virginia and UCF.
I say, who says you can't go home? Everyone decided to get the band back together. Pat White on one side, Mackenzie Milton on the other side, and to walk in to the same place that you've been, but in a new era of the sport, and to do it armed with a quarterback coach that can be your eyes and ears in the meeting room, that can get that message to the players of, hey, if you just buy into what coach is selling you, this is the kind of success that you can have. And as a player, getting a chance to work with a former player as your coach, it's not a prerequisite. Plenty of great coaches haven't played a down of football in their lives, but that shared experience, especially with the same coach, can go such a long way.
And I'll just underscore your point. It does come at a juncture where both of these programs are looking for their quarterback of the future, and sifting through that here mid-season for both as they hunt their first Big 12 victory of 2025. Nixon above the 20. Taven Jackson back to work from there. Next week, we head to Lawrence for the Sunflower Showdown, where Kansas looks to break the streak of 17 straight losses against rival Kansas State. That'll be next Saturday, noon Eastern, here on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max.
No, it certainly hasn't been the season Kansas State's wanted so far, but you throw that all out when it comes to a rivalry game of this magnitude. Very excited for that one, but we got a great game on our hands right now. West Virginia making it very interesting after that last score.
They stuffed Taven Jackson and the Knights rushing attack on third and fourth down. Jackson puts in the hands of Dylan Wade. A couple of jump shots to climb to the 30. Nicely done. That's been mostly Chris Dahmerkamp, the stars so far, with fourth down touchdown receptions of 40 and 34 yards. Gets a chance and works the middle. Appears to be enough to move the chains. And they give forward progress to the 33-yard line. First down, Knights.
Montgomery got the day started on the big carry backed up for UCF. Back-to-back 100-yard rushing games against Kansas and Kansas State, who we'll see next week. Had 8 for 64 yards last year in the game against West Virginia and a loss. Trying to make that right today.
Scott Frost said he's not discouraged with where they are because he doesn't feel like they're far away. They haven't been outmatched. They just have to execute better. And so far today on offense, they have. To the flat, late in that progression. Black making moves. And I think a mature decision by Jackson not to go big game hunting there, just to keep his offense on schedule.
And both of these head coaches, as involved in the offense we know they are for Scott Frost calling plays, are emphasizing, hey, right now, I know everyone wants to go out there and make the highlight reel play, make the big play, but we need guys to make the right decisions consistently down in and down out was something that Scott Frost really emphasized.
He arrived and immediately had to replace the top 8 pass catchers from 2024 here at UCF. Does not lack for weapons. He's trying to throw them up in the system. Oh, they ripped the seam, and an outrageous catch. Unbelievable. Marcus Burke with 17 sensational ones.
Sticks the paw out and makes the highlight reel catch. Unbelievable body control to bring that back in, keep it off the mat. Strong hands for Marcus Burke. Wow, what a play.
AKA OBJ, right? My goodness.
I don't want to hear anyone talking about the gloves either. What a catch.
Pinksy, you can see the one hand he used to go up and snare it. Dobby Belfort in the game. We were told they'd have a special package for him as he's dumped on that West Virginia sideline. The freshman from Rio de Janeiro making an appearance here on homecoming.
And we were told he'd have a lot of supporters on the sideline. This a guy has that it factor at quarterback. A lot of the team really support him. And so you like to give guys like that an opportunity to go out there and impact the game, especially when they're such a positive force in the locker room, on the practice field.
Hey, I need you guys.
A couple of taps on the helmet after a pickup of 3. Taven Jackson right where he started, and this time he's got Jaden Nixon in his backfield. They motion him to the left slot. So second down from empty. Quick work here. Complete to the 40. Ball came down. You saw the West Virginia Mountaineers react, but I believe that Kylan Fox got back on it. His body language says he did. Lee Carrico with the hit defensively.
Take a look at the end of the play right here. Both tight ends getting involved on this drive, and you're right, that initial hit jars it loose, but good job and awareness from Fox to see it right underneath him and get on the ball to avoid catastrophe.
And give Boyce that forced fumble. Kylan Fox, a former 4-star prospect.
Both these tight ends, maybe not big bruisers, maybe not going to go and drive people off the ball at the point of attack, but willing enough to be the kind of pass threats that we've seen on this drive.
I saw
The chains were not set. We will reset the play clock to 20 seconds.
Yeah, saw Fox there gesturing for a reset to the play clock. There were several Knights on the sideline doing the same, and as the snap clock expired, they do give a fresh 25. So no penalty, no timeout.
And a fresh set of downs and a lot of room. We saw the last Taven Jackson touchdown take advantage of this area of the field. This is shot territory. If you're a coach, you use this opportunity. And Scott Frost loves to test the eye discipline of safeties, see if they're paying attention.
Batted down. Curtis Jones Jr. with the two-handed rejection.
Doing a great job. Curtis Jones had the drive-ending play on the turnover on downs last time around. And here, if you can't get there, get your hands up and make a play. That's what my dad always taught me. He was more of a run stopper than a pass rusher, so he spent a lot of time not getting there. Love you, Dad.
They call that position the bandits in this West Virginia defense, and he steals the first down rep from Taven Jackson there. There's a look at Zach Alley, who comes off that Brent Venables tree. This group of 14 takeaways, among the best defenses in the country in that category. Play action, climbing the ladder once again for a new first down. This receiving core continues to make plays. Wade and Charles with a gain of 15 yards.
I mean, big bodies to work with in this group, right? Both tight ends, 6'2", 6'4". Charles, 6'2". DJ Black, 6'3". Dwayne Thomas, one of the most productive, and he's sitting there at 5'8". But mighty in his own way, as we see Belfort back in now at quarterback.
His father, Vitor, a retired pro boxer and mixed martial artist. His grandfather was a professional volleyball player, played for the Brazilian national team. Making Mountaineers miss, but tripped up below the 25-yard line. Only a couple there, going the wrong way this time for Belfort after he gained 3 on his first attempts.
Almost feels like a little competition between both of these very offensive-minded head coaches, right? Rich Rodriguez pushes the right buttons, getting his guy in Wilkins back in there to jumpstart this rushing attack. And so Scott Frost says, all right, I got a Belfort package for you. They trade blows here early in this contest.
Jackson's back, as you saw. Frost gesturing pre-snap. 5 left to take it. Ocean. Jackson bouncing, and he drills one complete near the chains. Back into the red area. We'll see if it's enough for a first down. Carl Jenkins Jr., a freshman. And both his catches on the season came against Kansas before that third down and less than a yard. Knights want to run for it. Some penetration. And Montgomery is planted. Big hit by Marshawn Oxley. And already with a 4th down takeaway today. Mountaineers make him snap it again.
They tried to get up there quick, and sometimes that could be an advantage, and other times it makes it difficult for the offensive line to identify the guys that they've got to go and block, and so you can get free hitters at the point of attack. I didn't like tempoing plays as an offensive lineman. I wanted a chance to see the picture, diagnose, make our calls, and get the best blocks possible.
There was a substitution mistake by UCF. They've got the right personnel on the field now, but a short clock trying to hammer this fourth down. West Virginia hit it again. They will depend on the spots. Insiders with first contact. That mark looks like another 4th down takeaway. Did they stone him on 3rd and 4th down in the run game again? West Virginia says yes defensively.
I'm sure we're going to get another look at this. As tight as possible, they're going to bring out the sticks to try and measure. These are the kind of plays you got to master. 4th and obvious, you've got everybody lined up to that right side, but no one blocks Braden Siders coming off the edge of that defense, so he's able to make the splash play. You bring in extra offensive linemen, you've got tight ends at the point of attack, but no one to account for that extra man when you bring them all down in the box, and I think you got him short.
The chain's on to confirm. West Virginia football. Well, you could tell the story of this game on 4th down alone. Mikey gave us 2 Mountains.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you've coached 10 different conference offensive players of the year in your career. We mentioned Matt White on this staff, Sean King, the great for Tulane, Denard Robinson. I still have nightmares of shoelace from the Michigan days against my Notre Dame Fighting Irish. And trying to add more to that group here in his 2nd stint in West Virginia.
Scotty Fox got the start. Khalil Wilkins got the touchdown. He rumbles over the left side. Rodriguez told us that Khalil played like it was his first start at times in prime time in Provo. Didn't play as well as they thought he would at BYU, but I think that's just to point out that there's more upside that we might realize today.
You've already seen him more comfortable in these first couple of drives with him back at the helm.
2nd down 7, some misdirection. And our Sincere Bowers. And with that first name Sincere, it's almost salt in the wound of this UCF defense because they're without their Sincere edge defender Sincere Edwards, who was 2nd on the team in tackles for loss today.
So other guys got to step up. Derek LeBron right there with the great play, staying home on that sprint draw. And now putting him in an obvious pass situation. We know Khalil Wilkins has been great. We saw him score a touchdown on a play where he was allowed to drop back and took off and run. Let's see if he airs it out.
It would be his first pass attempts as he settles down the line of scrimmage. Still with 10 to work with on the play clock. Dior Hubbard is into the backfield. Mountaineers just got to stop on 4th down on defense. Trying to pick up 3rd on offense. The blitz picked up. The throw nowhere close. Gerard Bowie the target. It's 4th down. And the Mountaineers preparing to punt.
Great decision from Zach Alley and this great decision from Alex Grinch and this UCF defense to try and throw the quick kitchen sink at Khalil Wilkins. You get a 6-man pressure here, so a lot of guys up at the line of scrimmage. You have a free hitter coming to try and get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, speed up his process a little bit. Braden Marshall, great coverage on the back end to take away that window.
Oliver Straw. It's a wobbly end-over-end punt that takes a left turn out of bounds at the 44 of UCF. So 6:21 remaining in the opening half. Knights with a touchdown lead and the football back as we send it down to Lauren Jabara.
UCF offense taking the field, and for their center, Carter Miller, he transferred here in January. He wanted to mark his new chapter, guys, in a big way. Literally, he spent 8 hours in a Nashville tattoo shop getting a massive piece inked down his right side, a knight on horseback charging towards a castle. He says that tattoo tells the story, a guy who fought for an opportunity to play at this level and finally found a home where he belongs. Miller joked that he became a knight, but it's more than that. It's a reminder of belief, perseverance, never backing down in the challenge. And also, fun fact, guys, he didn't just get a tattoo. He is also a tattoo artist, but I cannot confirm if he's done any tattoos on any of his teammates yet this year. Golick, would you trust him?
I barely trust my teammates to cut my hair, Lauren, let alone put the needle in my skin. That's remarkable and brave. Listen, when you got a belly the way that guys like me and Carter do, it's a lot to work with. But man, the tattoo, I had a friend of mine, Braxton Cave, who played center for us, who got tattooed on his side like that. It was the only time I almost saw him cry. So a piece that big, that's a tough dude, man in the middle for UCF on offense.
And he picked out a jersey that can showcase it on most sunny Saturdays here in Orlando.
The Chance Warmack effect.
Raiden Charles in motion. Knights run it over the left side, and there was more there from Miles Montgomery. The turf monster got him as he crossed the 50. And so 3rd down and short has been a troubling down. That's what's coming here.
Had it all cleared out. Looks like the turf monster got him. Just caught up a little bit on the logo right at midfield. They had that wind run designed to go back to the backside with what looked like a wide open path. And like you said, this has become perilous.
I'll be curious to see if they're willing to run it again on 3rd and a couple, because that's been a troubling down in distance for them their last 2 possessions, whereas Taven Jackson, trusted to throw it, has been producing on the money downs. They move his spots out on the perimeter. And he heaves it away. It's 4th down. So the Mountaineers have tightened up on defense. Devin Grant in on the pressure to run out Jackson's clock.
And I like this decision. Just a bit too long near midfield. You don't want to give West Virginia's suddenly more productive offense a chance. Try and pin them back deep. Give your defense the opportunity to flip field position in a different way.
I say a crisis of confidence on 4th down, but West Virginia's completely flipped the pivotal down of this game after quarter touchdowns. Now the first punt for Anthony Veneri, the junior from Canada. Always worth pointing out when a punter in college football is not from Australia. Do so here. Weston Fox, the return man. Looking into the afternoon sky, a fair catch at his 8-yard line. And so a long field for the Mountaineers. Their defense has bought them some time to trim the deficit, chasing a touchdown and a tie when we come back. A terrifying new series set in the 1960s. Go back to where it all began when the new HBO original series premieres October 26th at 9 p.m. on HBO Max. It was a terrifying start defensively for West Virginia on 4th down. UCF scored a couple on 4th down with explosive touchdowns. Scotty Fox got the start at quarterback. Wilkins has come on in relief. He's scored the touchdown, rushing for a 6-yard touchdown. And he's back at the switch here with a long field in front of him. Gerard Bowie takes that handoff and takes it to the 10. So Florida State was the only other program besides West Virginia to have used 5 quarterbacks on the season. This is what, game 7 now, Mike? 4 starters. Wilkins one of them. Fox the latest. Wilkins had the option to toss the reverse and said keeps it and twists to the 20. 1st down West Virginia.
And it's a great challenge for the rest of your offense. Little things, timing of the motions, the cadence up front for the offensive line, different with every quarterback. And you already see Khalil Wilkins from week to week looks a lot more comfortable out there going through it. I thought Scotty Fox Jr. a little tight to begin with, putting some obvious situations, they've done a good job using the legs of Wilkins to stay ahead of the chain since he's come in.
5 rushing attempts, only 1 incompletion through the air. A one-man run pass option there, wasn't it? And he decides to carry to the 25-yard line. 300 rushing attempts this season for West Virginia, most in the Big 12.
That's very water boy right there. He fakes the fake. He pretends to fake and then waits for the hole to open up, parts like the Red Seas. In this case, the Black Sea with those jerseys on defense. But
you do worry about ineligible downfield on a play that takes that much timing. So Wilkins rushing for it was probably the right way to go. 2nd and half the sticks here. Dior Hubbard is his back. He takes the handoff and works the left side. It's a completely overhauled offensive line. The top 9 offensive linemen for this program from last year are gone. And it's one of the areas where they're struggling.
They've at least had the benefit of continuity. Outside of Landon Livingston, who missed the Utah game with injury, everyone else has started every game at their position so far this season.
Both defenses starting to flex here a little bit. Latter moments of the opening half. UCF trying to get their quarterback one more opportunity. Wilkins trying to move the chains on 3rd down and 3. He takes off. He's got it. Flag comes in, make it 2, and let's see if this rush stands. Malachi Lawrence gets the tackle. Holding is the initial indication. Let's see if both officials say the same thing.
Hold it for 67. Offense. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
And you just mentioned him, the center, Livingston.
Yep, you're going to see him right in the middle here. Design draw all the way for Wilkins. Running back leading up onto the linebacker. And just takes him down to the ground. Anytime that back judge sees the defender's body outside of the framework of yours and it looks like he's being held up, they're going to throw that flag.
I mean, that could be huge. If they don't pick this up, if they have to punt, 2-minute opportunity for UCF. The Knights won the toss, elected to defer. So that's the backdrop for 3rd down 13. Wilkins swings it out. Hubbard needs blocks. Knights crunch it, and they get off the grass defensively. They're leaving Scott Frost 3 timeouts. Plenty of opportunity to seek more points before the break.
And JB, that's a great call. This is an area of potential improvement for the Knights, right? They came into this season doing incredibly well, starting fast and finishing strong.
Frost spending a timeout on top of the 2-minute timeout to preserve some of that clock. But sorry to interrupt your thought.
No, but it's a team that didn't allow a first quarter points until last week. That's 4th nationally in 4th quarter scoring defense. But it's about winning those middle quarters. You always hear coaches talk about the middle 8, last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half. And so you're exactly right. Scott Frost and this offense now have a chance to pay off that defense after a couple of stalled drive turnovers on downs that are basically like turnovers to the opposing team.
A UCF defense that has faced these quarterbacks so far in conference. Avery Johnson, Jalen Daniels, Brendan Sorsby. Those are experienced entrenched signal callers. That's clearly changed here today against a West Virginia outfit still trying to find its path forward.
Different variables you have to account for when there's a little more unknown versus all that experience you get in the Big 12. Some of the great quarterbacks in this conference.
The senior straw gets a helmet-high long snap, and he hangs a punt in the air for Antoine Jackson. Steps up, makes the first man miss, and is drilled about the 38-yard line. So 2 minutes, 11 seconds, 2 timeouts, and a touchdown lead for Taven Jackson. Jakari Brown, by the way, on the depth chart available only in an emergency. We know the state of the quarterback room for both of these programs was a question mark coming in, but Jackson so far has appeared to be a solution.
In this drive, we know his arm was the story and the star early in this game. Going to have a great chance to once again try and get back in the rhythm. Both of these offenses came out using tempo. You now tap back into that same gear here in the 2-minute drive.
Jackson 15 of 20 through the air, as you saw, for 184 and 2 touchdowns. His offense has suddenly stalled in short yardage situations. Get it out wide to the numbers.
Jackson completes the Chris Donner.
Dommerkamp had the huge first quarter with 40 and 34-yard touchdowns. He takes us to the 2-minute timeout, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash. This 2-minute timeout was brought to you by the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo. Earn unlimited 2% rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Taven Jackson, his third college stop. It was a journey that began in Knoxville, Tennessee back in 2022. Indiana's opening day starter in 23. He was replaced midseason by Brendan Sorsby, now at Cincinnati. He also backed up Curtis Rourke last season, did well in limited opportunity. Now he's here at UCF. 2 touchdowns in the first quarter to his credit, and running 2-minute operation going into the half. Against the blitz, replaces it with the throw, and well defended. Knocked out of Dwayne Thomas's hands by Derek Carter. It's 3rd down.
Great blitz by West Virginia, this time trying to speed him up the way UCS defense was able to do on the other side. Forcing a 3rd and long here. You're going to see edge pressure on both sides coming up, and gets it out, knows where to go to replace the blitzer, and just can't hang on to it.
Needs 8 on 3rd down. Blitz arrives. He delivers. It's in the dirt. It's 4th down. Carrico planted Taven Jackson. Slow to get up. And what a response from this West Virginia defense.
Great call right here. You had edge pressure on the last one. You're going to see a cross dog. Stunting linebackers up the middle. Center takes one. Can't quite hang on to him, and he's the one that ends up getting the hit on Taven Jackson. Moving slowly towards the sideline. And now West Virginia with an opportunity here with 2 timeouts and under 2 minutes left.
Mary trying to drop one inside the 20 and give the Mountaineers a long field with 2 timeouts remaining before the halftime break. Nearly blocked. No flag down yet. There is going to be one here for kick-catch interference. Veneri's asking, why was the hit I took not flagged?
I wonder if they're saying that he was pushed into him, maybe. Take a look at both. Either way, there was going to be laundry on this play. But on the front end right here.
Kick-catch interference, number 4, kicking team. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down, West Virginia.
Yep, you see Gold right there. Pushing him into the punter, so that's not going to get called on the other side. But here is the return man. You get an unobstructed path to the football and just runs right into him. So good no call on the potential hit on the kicker on one side, and an easy call on the hit on the returner on the other.
And does that give West Virginia license to go after something here with 2 timeouts and 1:41?
Well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Khalil Wilkins had not so far seemed comfortable being a drop-back passer. You've got plenty of time in 2 timeouts, so the run game is still viable here. But at some point in this drive, you're going to have to put it in the air. And we just haven't seen Khalil Wilkins be able to go and do that consistently yet.
And you saw a glimpse of the target line just on top of the 30-yard line. Kate Hensley had a 45-yard field goal in Provo 2 weeks ago. That was his season long. Wilkins, nothing doing.
And that tackle made by Damari Henderson shows you these safeties don't have respect for the deep passing attack right now for West Virginia. They're playing down near the line of scrimmage. They're anticipating all of this fly motion, the potential handoffs, and they're coming down to make plays.
Relative to Rich Rodriguez's speed, no real sense of urgency here. With 75 seconds to go in the half. And need to see a chunk run from Wilkins before they step on the accelerator. Is this a Scott Frost timeout? It is. So he's got an opportunity on 3rd down here to get a stop,
takes their
spend his
second
final
charge timeout of the half.
timeout. Maybe set up one more possession.
1 minute and 7 seconds.
This has been the issue. This is part of why I think you saw Scotty Fox Jr. come out and get the start in this game. We mentioned he was the final drive of the prior game, went 3 for 3 with a touchdown. You thought maybe he had a chance. I thought you might see him on this drive. Now putting a true freshman who just made his first start and then has been shown the bench back in a 2-minute drill. You might think it's tough, but JB, I always thought the 2-minute drill is a great opportunity for a young quarterback because it gets you out of your head. You're running bread and butter plays in your offense, easy concepts, you're going fast, so you're not thinking about the moment. But they elect to go with Wilkins now after he made the start last week to see if that experience pays off in a big drive.
And sometimes you're looking into a prevent defense, which is giving you easy access throws too. And
Also true.
A QB find his rhythm. First things first, though, 3rd down and 6. Remember, UCF won the opening coin toss, so they're poised to get the first possession of the 3rd quarter.
And you see 5 wide, 2 linebackers in the box. You're alert pressure because you're alert draw on the other side for Wilkins on this play.
He's only thrown it twice, 1 completion. They collapse on him, and it is 4th down with a minute to go.
And another timeout. It appears for Scott Frost and UCF.
UCF takes their 3rd and final charge timeout of the half.
Well, coming up, we have the Big 12 College Football Halftime, presented by Vanda Pharmaceuticals. Great to see Liam in studio today with Takeo, Champ, and Victor.
How does Takeo buy shirts for that neck? Taylor working overtime. Whatever he's paying him, completely worth it. This is huge right here. If you get any kind of return from UCF, all of a sudden can change the plan quickly for Scott Frost and company to see how aggressive they'll be before the half.
An errant whistle. Perhaps you heard it. I know we did. Oliver Straw noticed. I don't see a marker down.
The ball was not made ready for play.
Now it has been.
So official, all we needed was a whistle.
See if Straw can keep it away from Jackson. Dynamic punt return man for UCF. He's going to take off. It's a fake. Gets the block he needed. 1st down, Mountaineers. Well, BYU hit West Virginia with a fake field goal last time out. Now they steal a possession.
Boy, and you wonder how much this was called, because JB, this is just looking out and seeing green grass. When you've got that rugby style punt where you're rolling out, you're taking a little while to kick, he just looks at all the green grass available to him. And sometimes football's a hard game, sometimes it's easy.
So maybe he just has a green light, like if this is a situation where you think you've got it, go ahead?
Yeah, I think it could be a two-way go situation where if you've got enough room and you believe you can make the play, you've got the ability to go and call your own number, and he does there. So life.
Khalil Wilkins and the offense can capitalize. It's a choppy start. Only 3 combined penalties in our first half so far. This will be the 4th.
False start. Offense. Multiple players move, but the center did not snap the ball. It's a 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Like when they let the O-line wear it together. You don't want one guy just getting called out there. But we know false starts were the problem on the other side for UCF in recent weeks. 9 false starts in the last 2 weeks for them. And a lot of them coming in big-time moments. And it's another example. This group in a big 2-minute, 1-minute opportunity before the half. Got to hold their water.
Only 2 team completions. Good for 11 yards so far for West Virginia. See if they open it up here. Contested bobble. Tip drill. I think it hit the turf. Both sides had a crack at it. It'll come back. Incomplete. Rodney Gallagher fighting on offense. Braden Marshall there for the Knights.
Great job by Marshall. And you saw at the end here, the ball got tipped up. And for a second, boy, oh boy, I don't know if that was Sincere Bowers or whoever it was. Did a great job. Dior Hubbard knocking the ball out.
Sprint draw. QB decides to keep it. And he's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. No timeouts left for UCF. So this is West Virginia's to take to our stoppage. 3rd down and 15 waiting for them. 30 seconds to go. And they give their kicker a chance. Protection breaks down. Wilkins leaves. Exhausts that rep and dodges the potential interception. There is a flag, though, right where he went out of bounds. Up against that Rich Rodriguez sideline. A late marker with 19 seconds to go.
What a devastating play this would be for UCF on defense. Is this the call? Got to get off the field on 3rd and long. This is the kind of stuff that could lead to points, as we see right here. Gets rid of it.
Well, there's not much there on Kelly.
I don't see it at all, to be honest.
It's a glancing blow at
After the
most.
play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
But now it's almost all reward and no risk if you're West Virginia. You got 19 seconds, 2 timeouts in your pocket. You're across midfield.
And I think for them, based on how the passing attempts have gone here, you're alert to spreading it out and trying to get some runs, use those timeouts, and get your field goal kicker a shot at this. I really didn't see enough on that play to call a late hit, but West Virginia, an incredible opportunity before the half, knowing UCF gets the ball to start the second half.
There's Cade Hensley, the senior from Johnson City, Tennessee. Nailed one from 45 in Provo a couple of weeks ago. His career long is 49 twice. He's with Coastal Carolina. Wilkins hit as he throws. That's complete below the 30. They get it to Cam Vaughn. They have made it to field goal range with 12 seconds to go. A gain of a dozen.
West Virginia takes their second charge timeout of the half. 30 seconds
Great
late.
wide open look here on the left side. You're going to see 3 routes coming over here. So you got the motion player that's going to be streaking up the sideline, the running back coming out here, and then this route's just going to come right in and settle in the middle of the field. Everyone's eyes bought up on those 2 players in motion and working up the sideline. Leaves them right open in the middle, and when you've got those timeouts in your pocket, that area of the field stays accessible to you.
All right, so one more to utilize. It is first down at the 29. Any mystery here in terms of what West Virginia is looking for?
No, I think it's more of what you've seen. Use that motion, use the threat of quarterback run, and allow Khalil Wilkins to make a good decision. I think keeping the ball on the ground and getting your kicker in the right place on the field, trying to get a few more yards up there to give yourself a chance to hang 3 on the board.
Perhaps even if he's got a preferential hash or spot on the field. Again, this drive extended on a late hit out of bounds. Wilkins and West Virginia given new life late in the opening half. Capitalized with at least 3. West Virginia's leading rusher with lead blockers takes it to the outside and takes it out of bounds at the 25-yard line. So here comes Cade Hensley with 5 seconds to go in the half. 5 for 6 on his season. You see the long there, 45 as we mentioned. Taking over for a great Michael Hayes at West Virginia. Trying to make that penalty flag hurt. And they cash it in for 3 points. No timeouts left for UCF. Going to the halftime locker room from 44. Never had a chance.
Great opportunity for West Virginia. Couldn't cash it in, but still some positive momentum from that first half for Khalil Wilkins in this offense to get a deep pass down on tape for that opposing defense to try and have to account for. But the Mountaineers battled back after a hot start and some big plays from Taven Jackson at the beginning of this game.
14-7 our score at the half. A couple of 4th down touchdowns. West Virginia turning the game around with a couple of 4th down stops. You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo. UCF with the better of that first half offensively. They lead 14-7, more yards per play. They had 4th down success for 2 touchdowns, then some 4th down failures to let West Virginia back in it. Mike and JB with you. I hope you're having a great Saturday. Thank you for spending part of it with us. How would you summarize the quarterback story so far?
Well, on one side for UCF, Taven Jackson, big plays to begin this game that got them on the board early, but it was the decision by Rich Rodriguez and his staff. Scotty Fox Jr. gets the start, and then Khalil Wilkins goes in and ignites this West Virginia ground game. We know it's been the strength for them all season. And after the passing attack failed to get off the ground, they decided to go back to their bread and butter. Let's see how he plays with that in the second half. Rich Rodriguez going to have to take the pulse of his team each and every drive, see what that offense needs to get that back in the game.
Ethan Head, kickoff specialist for West Virginia, gets us to the second half. Nixon always dangerous on the return, but he's bottled up here. Stopped at the 17-yard line with a flag down. Penalty marker on the near sideline. We'll bring our referee, Tuta Salam, over for the announcement.
During the return, holding number 6 receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down, UCF.
All right, so Nixon takes the infraction. Here's Lauren.
Thanks so much, guys. I talked to both coaches at halftime, and the big word for both teams was execution. Scott Frost told me I really liked our first quarter, loved some of the big plays that Jackson was making as well. We need to continue that, have to convert on some of those fourth downs. The second half, going to put emphasis on crucial stops on defense when we have them on their heels. And he said with Taven Jackson, he's making the right reads. He loves seeing that consistency with him, wants to see that continue. On the other side, Rich Rodriguez and the Mountaineers, he said Khalil Wilkins really gave them a spark. He's seeing the field well. The key the second half, they have to create some of those big plays. His message to his team, love that we stayed poised. We didn't panic after a poor start. That has to continue. We have a lot of football left to play, guys.
Thank you very much, Lauren. And UCF begins with a toss that is dropped. Mike maybe trying to throw it back to their first possession when they drove 97 yards to grab the early lead. Another long field in front of them here.
And remember that first drive aided by a Miles Montgomery big chunk run, and that's something that's kind of been missing for them since that play. We've seen them stuffed on fourth and short on the ground. They've got to get that run game back online to complement Taven Jackson's arm.
63 rushing yards, 39 of which came on that opening rip that you're referencing. Get it to him out of the backfield here. Brings it up the sideline. Paid the price. He's somewhere between the 10 and the 15-yard line, and third down awaits UCF. Darian Lewis, I think, wobbly on his way back.
Big collision. You heard that from up here. They help him back to the sideline. Here's the pop. And good clean hit both ways, right? In this day and age where we know targeting is such an emphasis, a lot of that is to protect the defensive player coming in from dipping his helmet and potentially putting his neck in a bind. Saw what he hit, just a big-time collision that comes with this sport.
So he's off for third down and half the sticks here for Taven Jackson. He got off to an explosive start. UCF is bogged down offensively. DJ Black to his right in motion, sits in the pocket, spins one complete. New set of downs in the arms of Dwayne Thomas. Working against Derek Carter Jr. defensively. It's a pickup of 21 yards.
And this all started with the protection. Look at the pocket the offensive line creates up here, and that involves the running back inserting, keeping his eyes up, time and room to take a hit off his quarterback at the last second. Just a great job seeing the picture there with some pressure from West Virginia.
Jackson now north of 200 yards passing. He's got those 2 touchdowns. He's completing nearly 70% on this day. Black the motion man once more. At the mesh point, back to pass. Where's a hit as he deals. Oh, what a throw. Taven Jackson with some grit. And 19 yards to number 19, Wade Charles.
And JB, this is a simulated pressure. A lot of guys up there to bluff out and only rush 4. But you've got holes in the zone behind it. Taven Jackson hanging on and making a play.
Cross midfield on a couple of tosses. Now a double move. Try to go back shoulder with Thomas. Keeping it away from the West Virginia defenders. Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
We talked about that in the first half, JB. These West Virginia corners have been playing downhill a lot in the run game, and so here they tried to take advantage of that. They faked the pump screen down here and run those 2 deep rounds down the field. Can't connect, but that's going back to what they saw as a tendency in the first half from West Virginia.
Judging by that hand signal, I think the quarterback expected his target to settle down in that soft spot in the zone rather than to carry it up the sideline. 2nd down, a lot of window dressing. Still nothing doing for Montgomery since his big first carry. Known passing situation on the way here, just across midfield. Carrico in on the run stuff. Boy, they love Miles Montgomery. Frost described him as a warrior, a stud, everything you want in your lead back.
I think in this day and age of college football, so many new faces in each locker room. Leaders can really step forward and make themselves apparent. He has here.
Racing R.J. Harvey, some of the biggest cleats in college football. Jackson again. And they get chains on third down. Caleb Rollerson, a freshman, makes an appearance in a big spot, gets 20 yards.
You got pressure coming off this right side here. So quarterback throws opposite that, finds that hole in the zone, sits him down.
Puts his back foot, flag down to the end zone, busted up at the goal line. Extracurriculars back behind the play. Boys gesticulating there. Let's see about the penalty marker. Did you get a look at Rollerson?
Offside.
Rollerson, you made
number
that catch.
0, defense, lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So it was a free play, and Jackson went hunting.
He did. And it was an impressive throw that we saw. Again, understanding he got the guy to jump off sides. But look at where he puts this ball. This is going back to play prior to that sets up the opportunity. Great job finding the hole in the zone, but Taven Jackson this drive, some really impressive throws under pressure.
1st and 5 after that foul. And it was nearly cracked. Jaden Nixon was one Mountaineer away. Scruggs knocked him off balance. 1st down in the red zone for the Knights.
Giving West Virginia a little taste of their own medicine on offense with the jet motion. Israel Boyce keeps that from potentially hitting his head on the goalpost.
Two backs in formation, but they're going to split Nixon out as a receiver, leaving Miles Montgomery back with Jackson. 9th play of the UCF drive. They've already gained 80 yards on this march. The speed of Nixon on display as he turns the corner and puts it in. Touchdown, UCF. Nixon in from 12.
And you mentioned the two backs on the field. Nixon gets in the end zone, but this play happens because Miles Montgomery is willing to put it on the line for his teammate and do the dirty work blocking up front. Great response coming out of the halftime locker room by UCF. Watch Montgomery right here. He's going to be the lead guy the entire way, and he gets not 1 but 2 blocks on this play. Sees the ends coming upfield, gets a piece, and then stops and gets the linebacker. Great awareness and willingness to go and block for your buddy.
They described him as full speed, full field, all the time. And you saw it on both ends of that drive, didn't you? The hit out of bounds to send a statement with some violence, and then the lead block to pay it off to Paters.
You love running backs who want contact. And again, just clean it up. That's called being a football player. He's not supposed to block the end, but he sees color coming through. You never pass up color to get to color. The cardinal rule of anyone involved in the blocking scheme up front, but he maintains his discipline, stays on his track, and paves the way for Nixon to get to the end zone.
So they go 9 plays and 92 yards. They've had some of their best success trapped inside their own 10-yard line.
Number 16 is wearing jersey.
What a game. Unlikely opportunities, right? Backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, finding a way to put points on the board. 4th down passing attack. Huge for them in the first half. But if that rushing game can find the consistency like that, you feel like this nice offense that's been close in recent weeks can start to break through.
Shout out to Caleb Rollerson for contributing a catch along the way. Bananas are bouncing here in the bounce house with a 21-7 lead over West Virginia, as both these programs seek to get in the win column in conference play for the first time here at the midway point of the season. Austin Fox back as a return man, signals for a fair catch. For more on Montgomery, here's Lauren.
Yeah, guys, he told me with R.J. Harvey gone, he really needed to step up as that new voice, leading the running back room and leading the offense. He told me he had to embrace that role head first, said he used to be quiet, didn't talk too much, and now he doesn't even think twice about speaking up. He's proud of the leader that he's become, and even more proud of the guys in the locker room, how they respond to him. And like you were saying, JB, Scott Frost told me yesterday, this guy's a stud. He's everything you want, a hard worker, encouraging, demanding. and a great leader for this team. And you just saw that there on that touchdown drive.
Having new meeting with some lead blocking. Rodney Gallagher was there for the reception. Only the 8th pass of the game for the West Virginia quarterbacks. They are the least productive passing offense in the Big 12. Part of that is by design, of course, given the system they're running. Part of that is the ongoing search for a steady signal caller. 32 rushes in that first half, and here's another to begin for Wilkins. Still not done. About half the Knights on the field missed a tackle there. Dunham and Henderson finish it off.
The kind of toughness you want to see from whoever's back there at quarterback. As John Walker almost made a great play on the inside with all that motion, you need your D-line to step up. But Wilkins keeps those legs churning and grinds out some tough yards. Anything helps.
The second time today, West Virginia down 2 touchdowns. Here's the reverse. Vaughn can spin it, sets his feet and fires. Tipped and nearly picked. He was looking for Grayson Barnes, but Damari Henderson stayed deep for the UCF defense.
Oh, and he was wide open on the play, JB. The timing on the reverse just not there, and it's so important. That receiver leaking out. You see him come back right here, and he's all the way across the field. Looked like he was wondering whether or not he was going to cut this loose, and underthrown just enough to give Damari Henderson a chance to come across and make that play.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
If it's any consolation to Cam Vaughn, a former prep quarterback in the Mountaineers, it would not have counted as a completion anyway. They had an illegal man downfield. Vaughn didn't move to receiver until his true freshman year at Jack State. And leaves the Mountaineers in 3rd down and 8. Bounce house sensing its moments.
UCF
having just scored a statement touchdown on offense to begin the second half.
It's 3rd down.
Trying to get off the grass on defense. Wilkins only 3 of 6 through the air so far this afternoon. Steps up, hit, ball down, scooped up. It's going to be a quick 6 for UCF. Kelly Lawson with a defensive touchdown.
Scott Frost said they need to create some turnovers on defense. You earn the opportunity to do that by backing them up into a 3rd and long, put them in an obvious passing situation, and then giving your playmakers a chance to make plays. Here's Kelly Lawson right in the middle. He bluffs up and then drops back so that when the defensive end knocks that ball out of the quarterback's hands, it's almost like a block kick. You've got a guy there looping around the outside for contain that's ready to scoop and score.
And Nigel Kelly, the forced fumble. Lawson, who once had a pick 6 back in 2022 while he was a Virginia Tech Hokie, scoops and scores here. And the new score, 28-7 Knights.
Great complimentary football from UCF. The offense gets on the board to start the half. The defense says, anything you can do, we can do better. 28-7.
Indeed, it is homecoming weekend here at UCF, and that means a renewal of one of the great traditions in all of college athletics in anticipation of this matchup with the Mountaineers. More on that in just a moment. Indeed, the Rubber Ducks were present. First, let's kick it off, then we'll get it down to Lauren for all the details. UCF trying to snap a long October losing streak that dates back to 22. They're in position after a defensive touchdown. Lauren, all yours.
Homecoming at UCF, it's a full vibe, and nothing captures that more, JB, than the Spirit Splash. Every year on the Friday before the big game, the students flood into the reflection pond trying to snatch those custom Rubber Ducks and limited edition t-shirts. It started back in 1995 and has turned into the tradition here. For a few hours, the pond becomes the epicenter of Knight Spirit. Everybody's there. They all come out to make sure the energy is electric, wild fun. It's a moment. And Golick, I thought you were going to participate this year. Did you forget your bathing suit trunks or what?
I did. I forgot to pack the Speedo, and we all paid the price because of it.
To be honest, I think we're paying the price not seeing that.
Probably.
As legend has it, first of all, it was Frisbees and then cups and golf towels that got thrown out, paraphernalia, swag. One year that shipment, though, hadn't been ordered in time. It was delayed, and so UCF was looking for a substitute to give out, and the qualifications were small enough and safe enough to throw into a crowd. Had to be cost-effective and in stock, and cue the rubber ducks. First duck in the archives from back in 2002. Special weekend for us to be here at the Bounce House and to be able to participate in something that I've enjoyed from afar but have now seen in person.
You have my solemn vow if we're back here and lucky enough to be around homecoming next year. We're going for a dip in that reflecting pool. Look refreshing.
Chris Bowers can build West Virginia back with their running game. Only a yard this time. John Walker, a sophomore defensive tackle, and the team's highest graded defender against the run, gives you some teaching tape.
Yeah, you mentioned the absence of Lee Hunter from last year. Having to recreate it in the aggregate, and these guys have helped step up. Walker, 6'4", 324, big body in his own right.
Saw Alex Grinch there. He's got some history against Rich Rodriguez as Wilkins will load and go. This ball is intercepted. There is a flag down. For now, it's Braden Marshall with the second consecutive takeaway for the Knights. Flag thrown right where the
number
pick was
5,
made.
defense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Bell got caught.
First.
Take a look right here. This is actually away. The double move where the interception was. You're going to see DJ Bell on the outside and another receiver kind of going for that out and up. So both guys on that trying to see if they can get the defender stuck in the ground, and instead of giving up the big play, he holds on to the jersey and takes the penalty instead.
New set of downs for Khalil Wilkins, who came on early after the quick hook for Scotty Fox, who got the start. Flags on both sides of scrimmage here.
False start. Number 56, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Connie Ole, the right guard there.
Negate some of the yards gained by that penalty, which again, if you're UCF on defense, not the worst penalty in the world. Instead of giving this offense some life with a big play that's been hard to come by in the passing game, you live to fight a new set of downs around midfield and still feel pretty good about what your defense has been able to do.
Scott Frost says this defense has a chance to go from good to elite. Are they taking that next step here today against Wilkins and the Mountaineers? Rally to tackle Dior Hubbard, the freshman tailback.
Just a disciplined approach from Alex Grinch's defense on that other side as we see Cole Kozlowski here. They play tied together. Everyone's eyes are always tracking in the right place. Everyone playing with the proper leverage. And we saw for years Alex Grinch, some great defenses at Oklahoma. Obviously, the time at USC didn't end the way that he wanted to. We go all the way back to his time in Pullman as well. Veteran, experienced coach.
Teaming with Mike Leach. That was a great defense up there at Washington. It seems like wherever he goes, he's paired with an offensive-minded, fast-moving head coach.
It requires a special skill set and a special demeanor on the other side of that, especially for coaches that want to push the envelope, play with some pace, go for it in different spots. You've got to have a group that's mature enough to respond to all the different things that get thrown your way.
He went head-to-head with Rodriguez when he was at Arizona 3 consecutive years. Grinch won in Tucson. Grinch won in 2016, again allowing just 7 points, and then Rich Rod decimated him with 58 points in 2017.
Go.
Khalil Wilkins, not yet Khalil Tate, at least not at quarterback in this offense. He was the dynamic quarterback in Tucson for those years. Punt coming here for West Virginia. It's often year 2 in this system. The quarterback, if he gets to year 2 under Rich Rodriguez, chances are he's going to be Conference Player of the Year. That's been the trend.
The offense asks a lot of you to make split-second decisions that really, as that punt almost blocked there, only come with time.
Jackson lets it roll. And once again, trapped inside the 5-yard line. Oliver Straw does his part. He's been terrific. But unfortunately for the West Virginia defense, Taven Jackson's been going the full field.
Got them right where they want them. We've seen some of those UCF scores start running
on TBS. Mike and JB back with you at the bounce house in Orlando. Homecoming for UCF. And Taven Jackson threw for a couple early touchdowns. They just went back-to-back with a rushing score from Jaden Nixon and a scoop score from Kelly Lawson. In the last drive, they went 92 yards in 9 plays. Here they are backed up again. They get started with Wayden Charles. Boy, a full portfolio of weapons for Taven Jackson. You can see why Scott Frost felt like the potential was there. They're just trying to grow up their receiver room at 30,000 feet.
Remember, the signs have been there, right? They led Kansas 20-14 at the half. They outgained Cincinnati in that loss. They've been inching there. It's about making the little winning plays and things like this coming out backed up in your own end zone. That first play to get some breathing room, huge for the maturity of this offense.
Averaging nearly 6 yards per play. Jackson at the controls. Out of the pistol, they'll run. Wow, what vision. Down the sideline and shoved out at the 45. We just touted Montgomery as a lead blocker on the rushing touchdown for Nixon. Now he takes his turn.
Boy, the vision, you're right, to put a foot in the ground. You're going to watch him wind all the way back and up the sideline, just riding the wave of that group up front. An inside zone run. He sees all the defenders stuck down there, and Chase Wilson, the only one that really had a chance at him before he gets all the way to the sideline.
Don't he and Jaden podcast together? That's going to be a must-listen episode coming up this week.
Great takes.
31 on the game. Inside of 7 minutes to go in the third. They stay with it, running on a safety. Impressive tackle by Jordan Walker. Otherwise, he was gone.
This offensive line starting to work up a lather. Carter Miller and the rest of this group have been coming off the ball with some renewed vigor the last couple of weeks. Cameron Kinney, Jabari Brooks got inserted into that starting lineup. And this looks like guard Memolar back in there now at left guard, but they've been firing off the ball, resetting the line of scrimmage lately.
Again, without their starting left tackle today, running away from trouble. Montgomery got tracked down from behind. It's been Meadows in there at left tackle in place of Rubelt. A loss of 3 there. Curtis Jones Jr. had the TFL for West Virginia.
We asked for the run game earlier. It's dominated this drive, but now Taven Jackson, who 261 yards on the day, has been deadly through the air, should be more than comfortable with third and manageable.
Widen out that line with Owen Spell and Meadows side by side. Almost like adding a 6th offensive lineman / tight end as they push it downfield. And this ball is intercepted. Jason Chambers on the return, gets a block at the 30. And West Virginia's right back in it.
Outstanding coverage from Jason Chambers. UCF got big to try and go downfield. They try and buy them up with a hard play action cell on the inside. But Chambers shuts the door, gets takeaway number 11 for this West Virginia defense, and tries to give their offense another chance to get on track.
Game was about to break. A takeaway for this West Virginia defense.
Something they've done well all year, and this is just a great individual effort by cornerback Jason Chambers. Runs the route for the wide receiver, physical enough to knock off his timing, and there to make a big play.
And so back to the starter, Scotty Fox at the controls. Off play action, top shelf. Oh, it was lost in the sun by Cam Vaughn. Now back to Chambers for just a second. Mike, you know that last year at App State, his head coach was Sean Clark, who was with UCF here as the offensive line coach and tragically passed away last month. And in the run-up to this game, it was really touching to hear about the gestures from West Virginia and their condolences to UCF.
Yeah, Scott Frost mentioned that West Virginia sent notes, cards from most of the West Virginia staff, and the people that knew of Sean Clark, and so many people in the coaching industry had known him, had said a kind thing. But that message and gesture from West Virginia in the lead up to a contest where you know everyone wants to win, I think a reminder of just how important Sean Clark was to so many people.
Third down from empty. Fox put it on top of the helmet. It's caught, but it's shy. Sincere Bowers able to pluck it out of the air, but did not move the chains. And this is a must-go 4th down.
Desperation time.
A sneak should be plenty. Rides the surge of his offensive line to midfield.
Phenomenal execution. Come back cold. Hasn't been in the game since the first drive or two of the first quarter. And to go up under center, something they don't do often, and execute that for a pivotal first down. Really, really impressive.
There's Wilkins watching and waiting. The freshman Fox from a clean platform. That's a drop. Cam Vaughn, the sophomore, tried to climb the ladder. The Mountaineers leader in receiving and scrimmage yards. Is that something with the stoppage after the takeaway that the quarterback will just get with the center and say, here, fire me a couple?
Absolutely. You go over and practice that plenty on the sideline, especially when you know you're going back in.
Most of his work from the shotgun. This one way too tall for Vaughn.
And that's been something you spend time doing every day in pre-practice, right? Different quarterbacks get with different centers. You're trying to account for every situation. Make sure you understand where each guy likes the football, what each guy's cadence looks like to be able to weather those situations. Now we're going to have to weather a big one on 3rd and long.
West Virginia still just 38 passing yards. Fox will take off. Gets a block as a flag reins in. Based on the spot for now, it'll be and 4, but this could be coming back. There's also an injured defender for UCF. Holding is the indication. They're looking to Frost to see if he wants to accept it.
Number 54, offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So Walter Youngbear is flagged.
See right there again, defender reaching out of the framework of the offensive lineman's body, getting an earful right now from Rich Rodriguez. See now the injured player getting up for UCF. Good sign there, walking off under his own power.
R.J. Jackson Jr. He spent the past couple of seasons at Tulsa. Junior defensive tackle able to walk off under his own power. So the penalty has the Mountaineers back at their 40-yard line for 3rd down and 20. Shotgun snap to Fox. Swings it out to Bowers. Sincere Bowers stumbling. That close enough to give him a chance on 4th down. Gain of 7. John Walker knocked him off his feet. Punt unit forming for West Virginia. They did have the fake at the end of the first half.
I'm sure now that's the first coaching point coming off the sideline for UCF as their punt return team comes out there. But Rich Rodriguez trying to take care of his defense a bit here. Give them at least a long field to work with.
UCF runs a new punt returner out there as Oliver Straw bangs another. And inside the 10. Richardson with that return. 3:01 to go. And for more on Clark, hope you saw 12 uncovered before our broadcast, but if not, here's a snippet.
Coach Clark was a father figure to all of us and just a genuine human being. He cared about all of us. Funny as all get out. I got the cameras on me right now, so I can't think of all the stuff he says, but what that guy has poured into us as an O-line and just the type of family man he is and the type of person he is off the field, like, I haven't been around someone like Coach Clark in a long time.
Again, that clip from 12 Uncovered, our docu-series embedded with the Knights this week. And, you know, Mike, before that interception, you can see the helmet sticker honoring the late offensive line coach. You were saying that this Knights offensive line was starting to lean on West Virginia, trying to crack this game open.
They've played with such vigor this season in honor of their late coach, and I can't imagine what it's like going through that. Someone that you revere in the way you heard from those guys, someone that you went to work with every day, who was trying to do everything he could to make you better, the way Sean Clark had done for so many young men. What these guys battling through this season, really, really unprecedented, and certainly our thoughts, prayers, and our well wishes with all them.
Look at this crease. Dashing down the hashes, Nixon home. 83 in the bounce house.
And those big fellas that we just talked about, JB, putting it on display, trying to land the knockout blow for their first Big 12 win of the season. And just watch the right side of this offensive line when we get to take a look. I really think Cameron Kinney, since he's come into the lineup, has done such a great job setting a tone physically at the point of attack for this team, and it paves the way for that Nixon touchdown.
UL is part of a much improved special teams operation here in Orlando with the extra points.
Go ahead and gaze upon some large excellence here on the right side. A great block by Carter Miller, just tossing him out the club. And then all Nixon needs is a seam. He puts his foot on the gas. Aware enough at the end to get his feet out of harm's way, the only tackle that could have brought him down. And strike up the band. Setting a physical tone at the point of attack. Carter Miller, really the heartbeat of that offensive line up front. We talked about the aspiring tattoo artist in the middle. Paving away there.
Number 16 is wearing jersey number 24.
How about Nixon? I mean, you want to talk about scoring from your side of midfield. You had the 96-yard kick return. UCF's first since 2017 against North Carolina A&T. His rushing touchdowns now this year have measured 66, 83, 87 yards.
They said if you can give him a clear crease, he can hit a home run with the best of them. And you saw it there. Zone play, paved the way. And another big play for this UCF offense that's found plenty this afternoon.
And again, they're heading into their bye. So if they've found something here, if they've turned a corner and they got a week to get right, they could be a problem in the second half of this league schedule. They go looking for more eligibility. Knuckleball off the tee that will scoot out of bounds.
Free kick
Giving
out
the Mountaineers some free field position here.
The ball will be placed at 35-yard line. First down, West Virginia.
Just as I had mentioned, the impact that Pete Alomar, the special teams coordinator, has had in the year-over-year kicking game improvement. I've seen two quarterbacks today for West Virginia, and they both struggled to move the sticks.
Been a battle, no doubt. Tried to come out throwing with Scotty Fox Jr. in the beginning, gave way to the run game that gave him a spark, and now just trying to look for anything here late in this one.
Calls his own number and toppled at the 40-yard line. DeMar Henderson made the hit. His twin brother Jakari, also reserve DB for this defense. Fox sits in the pocket. That ball was nearly intercepted.
Good job by Troy Ford Jr. getting his hands on that one. Sorry, excuse me, Jaden McDonald. Young player, they're just following his eyes right to the ball, getting their hands all over it.
They're down, Fox needs 5, and he's found them. Justin Smith-Brown, from about an hour east of here, Port St. John, the 7-yard catch and conversion.
First team All-MEAC at South Carolina State last year. And a great response by Scotty Fox Jr. Pressure, throws away from it, finds the easy target, and moves the chains.
All right at the mesh point, he does give. It's a healthy rip over the left side. Senior Hubbard and Sincere Bowers who had this carry in the backfield. You mentioned it earlier, but no White, no Edwards either. That became official this week. Ty Edwards was their big back. Another knock to the running back room here at West Virginia. Sincere wrapped up in the hole, but he's got enough to move the sticks with 3.
Tell you what, JB, been really impressed with the interior defensive line for UCF today. As we see John Walker a little slow to get up, but him, we've called Derek LeBlanc's name a few times. RJ Jackson Jr. We know what they lost in the portal this last offseason, but they felt good about these guys and the opportunity that they have. And they give these linebackers a chance to play fast and downhill. We saw Kelly Lawson with the scoop and score before that. Cole Kozlowski's been all over the place.
Some of best offensive traction of the day for West Virginia. Hubbard gets the take.
Look at Kozlowski right there, the wild man himself. 3 years at Colgate, and they said every time they turned on the tape this offseason looking for him, they just kept finding a reason to go back. He kept giving them something to like, and now he's here playing great ball.
One more play before the quarter break. Fox leaves the pocket to the numbers and track down. Malachi Lawrence finishes 3 here in Orlando with his UCF Knights on top 35-7. You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo. It's Scott Frost.
Thanks so much, Coach. You told me at halftime this third quarter is going to be about execution. Taven's making really good reads. You got forced to fumble. What did you see from your team's response here?
Taven's playing well. That's the big thing is last 3 weeks we haven't got any of those game-changing plays on defense or special teams. And so that's great to see. Great job by Nigel and Kelly.
Defensively, you've seen 2 quarterbacks on their side. You're shutting them down right now. What's the key to closing this thing out?
Yeah, these guys keep playing hard. That's what I love about this team. They're going to keep fighting, and they're having fun right now.
Coach, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, you saw that nasty losing streak in the month of October. A chance to put that behind them and get in the win column in conference play for the first time. Fourth quarter defense has been a flex here in Orlando.
Second half defense, they've been incredible. Against Cincinnati the other week, just 109 yards and 3 first downs allowed in the second half. So they've been amazing, but they know how to close the door on teams late now that they've figured out the middle portion of the game.
West Virginia with 2 plays to get 9 yards. This one denied by the 6'5" edge, Nigel Kelly, who forced the fumble that led to the touchdown. Now a pass breakup.
Special player here. We mentioned shutting the door, recognizes, hey, I might be moving upfield a little too fast. Something smells funny. Gets his head.
A rare chance to play with a huge lead in conference play. 4th down middle. That's on the turf, and the Knights take over again.
Boy, Alex Grinch has a lot to be excited about today with this defense. They played fast and physical. I thought the game jumped from Kansas to Cincinnati. Kansas, they present so much pre-snap. They throw a lot at you. I thought that group was playing a step slow. The Cincinnati game, you cut on the tape, they're getting downhill. They're resetting the line of scrimmage. And today, it's been a great mix of both. They've done a good job of presenting different looks to these quarterbacks that have been going in and out of the lineup for West Virginia, and it's given them the opportunity to make game-changing plays like the touchdown that we saw.
It was 109 yards only for the Bearcats in that second half, limited to just 3 first downs. Jackson, one mistake on an interception, otherwise he's been electric. Picks out the tight end Wade here, and using all 6'2" of that frame for 14 yards and a first down.
Once again, taking advantage of aggressive cornerbacks for West Virginia. Fake like they've got the receiver screen out here. Run 2 routes downfield. He takes the underneath route. Dylan Wade getting a great grab.
Wade had that outrageous highlight. Speaking of Cincinnati, remember the 30-yarder in the 4th quarter on a pass intended for Dwayne Thomas that deflected his way?
Amazing play. I mean, we've seen some impressive plays all season long in the Big 12, but that one of the more unlikely. Video game glitch. I'd have had the controller through the screen if that happened to me.
There's Montgomery, who had back-to-back 100-yard rushing games before last week. His return to Cincinnati. He's got 86 here and working. There's an injured Mountaineer. Next week, a month-long gap between home games for West Virginia ends when they play host to TCU. We'll step aside. Starts in Vegas with the Hall of Fame series. Arizona, Florida, Villanova, and BYU. Watch these powerhouse programs collide on November the 3rd, starting at 6:30 Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. Mike and JB with you at the Bounce House today. Taven Jackson taking over. Something to build off of today at quarterback.
He's been electric, and we know we've seen him out there on the field, but looking for that consistency. The big plays have been phenomenal, don't get me wrong, and he's had some really impressive throws. We heard Scott Frost thinks he's got a Sunday arm, but to me, JB, it's how he managed the RPO game, getting the ball out of his hands quick, spreading it around to all these different weapons that's made this offense look as good as we've seen it in 2025.
Ben Bogle was the injured Mountaineer when we left you. He walked off under his own power. Little flea flicker here. Jackson eluding pressure. Did the right thing.
That's right. Even to me, that play, a sign of maturity, preventing the worst possible outcome by putting the ball in harm's way. You see big personnel.
Now they hit him for grounding here.
Ground the ball.
So yes, he was outside
Yes.
the tackle
Penalty is a
box.
loss of
Yes, he
down
threw
at
it
the
well
spot of the
beyond the
foul.
line of scrimmage, but by
It's
giving
third
up the
down.
football and the flea flicker, he loses that right.
Yes, if there's no wide receiver in the area, now all of a sudden you run into that great catch
Ashley,
by this
spot is
officiating
good.
crew. So I stand corrected. A special situation you've got to be aware of, but still on an otherwise strong performance from Taven Jackson.
Always be cautious when Mike Golick Jr. is saying something kind about you. You never know when that other foot is going to fall.
You know that better than anyone.
Motion to empty. Clean platform here. Checks it down all the way wide to Nixon.
Jackson.
12 yards, looked like a nothing play. Reads it through to exhaustion, and it gets them right back into West Virginia territory where they want to be.
Another fourth down opportunity. Taven Jackson's arm's been deadly on this down all day.
Throwing the football on fourth has been immensely successful. Running it, not so much. Gonna throw it here on 4th down and 7. And using his cadence to shorten up 4th down.
And to get a look at the defense. Saw Chase Wilson coming down on what looks like a pressure and gets to check the play because of it.
Wade, the tight end, flips to the left side. Game clock running, play clock down to 3. And they take the delay.
Trying to see if they can get him to jump. Give your punter a little more room to work with here.
Delay of game. Offense.
Mentioned that
5-yard
bye
penalty.
week coming up.
4th down.
I think this is the exact type of win that Frost wants to take into next week. It was good. It wasn't immaculate. There's things to pick out on both sides of the ball, but it's going to be a feel-good momentum win on homecoming as we take a look at the night's upcoming schedule presented by Modelo. And now it's a game of count to 6. If they get their 4th here today, can you find 2 more wins?
Listen, we know Oklahoma State's had a tough season in Stillwater. Mike Gundy fired there in the middle of the season. So a home game there, certainly an opportunity. We saw Houston playing a great game against Arizona. They're going to be a tough out. That's the thing about this conference is any given week someone can win because it's so deep with quality teams.
Vaneri puts one in the sky. Preston Fox signals fair catch above his 15-yard line. Timeout us. 4th quarter here in Orlando.
Extremely special off the field. He started a program this year, guys, to help kids who have lost a parent. It's something that really hits home for him. Rodney lost his mom, Crystal, when he was just 7 years old. He said at the time he didn't fully understand what was happening. As he got older, it really sank in that she was gone, and now he wants to be that role model that he wishes he had back then. So he spends a ton of time with the kids who have lost their parents to help take their mind off the tough stuff. His mom, Crystal, she was an incredible athlete herself, a 1,000-point scorer, and played college basketball at Fairmont State. And Rodney says this is something he cares about deeply. He just wants to help as many kids who are also struggling with what he went through as much as he can. And he wears a decal the rest of the season with his mom's initials on it. It's a butterfly, his mom's initials. So pretty incredible, the stuff that Rodney Gallagher is doing off the field as well as on.
Look, I know Lauren's a great storyteller. I know she's got a lot of sway around these parts. I didn't know that she could also call a play for West Virginia to get Gallagher a catch while she was telling us that story.
Unbelievable effort all the way around from Lauren, and just piggybacking on that. It's always great when guys understand and recognize the platform they have as college athletes. We focus so much on the way the sport's changed, but the one thing that's always been a through line is so many of these guys understand I have a lot of eyes on me. I have a lot of kids that look up to me, and I have a chance to go and use that platform to try and help out people who have been through a situation like I've been through.
How about he goes out with career highs, 7 catches, 61 yards, wearing that decal in the rivalry game against Pitt. I mean, that was too good to be true from his standpoint. Walls caving in. They get to Wilkins. Loose ball. Mountaineers pounce on it.
Great play by Makani Ole.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense. Timeout on the field for an offensive injury.
Wilkins writhing in pain. I was waiting to see if there was a face mask potentially there. It looks from our vantage point as if he was being pulled down. Could not tell from which part of his equipment. We'll get another look here.
Yeah, we saw him tapping on his ribs, so kind of keep an eye on to see where the shot comes in on this play. Is just hemmed up in the pocket, and all of a sudden that pressure from the interior looked like he maybe just missed, grazed that face mask a bit. Didn't look like fully clamped down. Oh. We've seen that called before, so surprised we didn't see the flag there. You're absolutely right. But also just hit from so many angles there while you're going down. Saw him tapping on that left side.
Oh, there it's Marchiol with the foot. Or Wilkins down again here. Max Brown hasn't played much. He's been battling through injuries as well. What was a five-man competition, and one of the stories of the summer in the Big 12, which direction would Rich Rodriguez go in his return to Morgantown? He said this week it was down to 2. 5 became 2, and they were both the freshmen.
And the difficult part with that, too, is as you're repping a lot of those guys, they're not getting a lot of opportunities to work through that. And then once you get to the season, the older guys are getting a lion's share of it, so they're having to learn a lot on the fly here as we get another look at what we appear to be a missed face mask call. And they're not sure if he took a knee to the rib cage there or what happened, but either way, he's able to get over to the sideline, and unfortunately the punt unit has to come out again for West Virginia.
Still south of 200 yards of offense today, the Mountaineers on the road at UCF. The Knights, with this next possession, can eclipse 500 yards of total offense. From the end, Knights in his own end zone, a side-winding punt. Takes a hop at midfield. Antoine Jackson to daylights. All the way back to the 32. With that, let's go back for our Coca-Cola play of the game.
Taven Jackson, 23 of 33 for 277 and 2 touchdowns. This is the second of the 2 on 4th down to start the game. Beautiful touch pass. Gives his receiver a chance to make a play in stride, running out of real estate. That's the kind of NFL caliber throw that Scott Frost believed Jackson was capable of, and he put it on tape plenty today.
I've seen a sprinkle of Belfort in some of those design QB runs, but this has been Jackson's show, and he's run it nearly to perfection. 1 interception, 1 intentional grounding, but 35 on the board and still 11 minutes to play against West Virginia. Montgomery in his backfield, and they will feed him. Jordan Walker with a nice run fit there. Ty Crutcher in on the play as well. Or you see Ben Bogle there, 32. He's still hobbling around, back on the field, but trying to shake off that injury. He's going to have to give way here to a backup.
This linebacker room hit by injuries. Lost Ashton Woods recently with his shoulder.
Jackson on the feed. And again cut down. Tarnu with a nice penetration. Kora Tarnu, a senior from Liberia.
One of the Jacksonville State transfers on this roster, so obviously played for Rich Rodriguez there.
But he led him to Morgantown. He came first. He was one of the few who was a year before Rich Rod came over. Trendsetter, you might say.
Blazing the trail.
Man, here comes a blitz from the linebacker level. Jackson has time. And sprays it wide of Miles Montgomery. As he peels himself up off the turf, you wonder if the time has come to maybe retire him for the day. This looks to be your starter moving forward. They do have the bye week, but with a 35-7 lead in less than 10 minutes to go, they will try a 51-yard field goal. Relis has knocked one through from 53 this year. Looking to tack on 4th quarter. Good operation, and it jumps off his foot. Bam! 51 for Noe Ruelas, and the lead grows to 38-7.
The pride of West Hartford, Connecticut, with his 10th straight made field goal of the season. Take a bow.
Number 16 is wearing jersey
Claim
number
titles.
24.
It was a great season. It's the whole history of the sport. Let them come take it away.
After a big boot from Ruelas, good from 51. And will send it away to the Mountaineers, who are about to bring on their third quarterback of the day. This one scoots into the end zone. Max Brown, the junior from Tulsa, is regarded as maybe the best athlete of the bunch. So here he comes in the fourth quarter. Well, maybe not. It was warming up, but it's still Fox. False start on the broadcast booth.
Yellow laundry everywhere up here right now. It's raining down. He's on the sideline ready. We saw him warming up during that last timeout.
Look, I've got Tulsa roots. Anytime a Tulsa product has a chance to get in the game, I'm anticipating.
Tulsa player loves to see JB coming.
A tough day at the offense. This West Virginia offense. Dior Hubbard driving the pile ahead for half of what he needed. Played in only 2 games last season and did not play in West Virginia's first 3 this year until they got low in the running back room, and now he's part of the mix with Sincere Bowers. Fox on the move right from the snap. Incomplete. Looking for Gerard Bowie. Airtight coverage from Jair Brown.
Yeah, honestly, great play by Bowie to become the defender on that play, because Brown basically ran the route for him, had great position in front of him. And Bowie comes over the top and just makes sure that doesn't end the ball going the other way.
NCAAF on its way to its first ever win over West Virginia. 5th game of this series. Be the first league win for the Knights. Get them back above 500. Still 9 minutes to cover, though. Fox flat-footed. Incomplete. Wanted to feed Bowie again.
That's the difficult part about the way this quarterback situation has shook out, right? Is the timing with receivers, something you can't get within rhythm. Quarterbacks talk all the time when you're part of a 2-man system where both guys can see action. It makes it tough for you to get into that rhythm with the guys on the outside, and that time had him open, just couldn't put the ball on him or in front of him. Now they're kicking the other way.
Unfortunately for the Mountaineers, Oliver Straw's going to need an ice bath after this trip to Orlando. Hits another in the afternoon sky, and Antoine Jackson takes it just beneath his 30-yard line. Are you checking the UCF huddle as well for a potential
I am.
change?
And I think we're getting it right now. I think Taven Jackson's day is done. I'm seeing Davie Belfort coming out on the field.
If that's not what you were looking for in your binoculars, I was going to be curious to find out.
Looking for a hot dog guy in the stands. Another one of those rubber ducks. I need one to get home with me.
A couple of carries so far in the run game for Belfort. Handles the high snap. Nixon with a stiff arm and a spin. 9 minutes to go, but this is 4-minute mode in football parlance as they look to salt away their 4th victory.
Yep, you put it on your offensive line now. Everyone in here knows that you're going to be running the football, but your chance to eat up clock and end the game on your terms. We always took it as a personal challenge to us up front, and we see some other guys in there now. Keegan Smith moves over in at center. Patrick Barnett in at right guard. Some of the reserve in up front getting a chance to put some stuff on tape.
Adai is a reserve tailback. Ajamin Adai, a freshman for 8.
The curtain call for Taven Jackson. Completions to 11 different receivers, and to me, that's probably one of the defining characteristics of the day, the high-end throws. But everyone had an opportunity because you had a quarterback that was seeing the picture clearly and making great decisions.
The Brazilian at the controls will call his own number here. Helicopters to the 45. You pointed this out earlier, but he's so well liked. We got to see him break down the team at the end of walkthrough yesterday. They really rally around him.
Some guys just have it. Now, I don't know how to define it, but that magnetism that brings people together, I think excites them about what he can do here eventually in his career at UCF. When you've got guys here, especially in this day and age, in the portal era where so much change happens year over year, to have a guy people naturally flock to is such an asset.
Listed at 5'11", trying to close out this victory for the Knights. Do it in wire-to-wire fashion. Chance to spin it here. Thomas Wadsworth, in his 4th year at UCF, a junior from Melbourne, Florida, was the target.
See Cam Fancher taking it in from the sidelines. Got the start against Cincinnati, and an incredibly gritty performance. JB took off and run, and Scott Frost said, you know, we don't want to see a quarterback put in harm's way that much, but the respect his teammates have for him based on how he put his body on the line, can't say enough about it.
Putting his foot in the ground, getting vertical. Belfort motors for a new first down. In West Virginia territory, Jordan Walker hangs on for the tackle. 13 on the turf for Belfort.
Getting up and going fast, but you see him put his foot in the ground out here, leave him in the dust. Great dynamic play. Cheer on your teammates from the sideline. You love to see it.
In position to go fast, as you referenced, but draining clock as they go. 6.5 and ticking. And the high snap once more. Eddie Kelly Jr., an Orlando product, the defensive lineman for West Virginia, jumps on the back. Dye gets another carry.
I like that they're giving him a chance to run the offense here. You mentioned get up to the line quick, you use the snap count, now they can look over, get in the play they want, drain the clock at their own pace.
He gets to hear from his coaching staff, too, all the way until this play clock hits 15 seconds. The coach-to-player communication system is open until now. Dobby out on the edge. He delivers. Caught in space. To the pylon. Touchdown, UCF. Caleb Rollerson from Davie Belfort. 40 on the number.
Again, what great reps, what an opportunity. And you put him on the perimeter. We saw the athleticism when he called his own number on the run in the prior play. And so here they get him on the perimeter. A nice, easy, leveled concept on the outside. Wide open man dumps it off and got absolutely mobbed by the sideline. Scott Frost was not kidding. They love this dude. And they are fired up to see him get a chance to go out here and execute.
What an exclamation point on homecoming weekend. And the finish from Rollerson.
Got a referee down on a knee right now. Again, design boot. And just wide open at the second level there. And a great diving play. Looks like he was into me. I think this should be confirmed pretty easy. And then immediately getting the love from everyone on this sideline. You see that juice on full display. And
now Caleb getting his turn too. Welcome back to the sideline, the freshman receiver. Marlo Fitzgerald is our umpire, shaken up on that play you mentioned, Mike.
good to see him making his way off under his own power. I hope he's all right. And JB, some people could see a score like that late and think maybe people are running up the score, maybe it's in poor form. But I think when you have backups in the game, you need to give them a chance to go out here and get live reps in game action, try and take some of the things from the practice field for proof of concept so that they're ready if their number gets called on. Both of these teams have seen plenty of guys play quarterback. You don't know if you're going to need Davi Belfort in a game that matters going forward. And so making sure that he can go out here and execute all the machinations of your offense, I think is critical.
The ruling
for
on the
team
field
building.
of a touchdown is under further review.
They've heard the announcement that after attending to the umpire, now they will go look at this touchdown. So it's a ball carrier inbounds. If the pylon gets triggered, he gets goal line extended.
I didn't see the pylon get triggered until much later.
Until he was down out of bounds.
Breaks the plane right there before anything's out of bounds. That left foot stays off the ground.
There's our Big 12 Replay Operations Center in Irving, Texas, monitoring all today's games.
After review, the runner does not get the goal line extended since he did not touch down in the end zone or the pylon. The ball was in his left hand. It went out of bounds at the half-yard line. It's first down UCF at the half-yard line.
We're looking at the right thing. Did he ever trigger that pylon? And even though it went down, it spilled. It was not of his doing. And you pointed out he was in the black paint before the pylon moves.
Great catch by the replay room. And now another situation and opportunity. We mentioned putting it on your offensive line. And we know UCF going back a couple of games, I believe against Kansas, got shut out on the doorstep in a similar situation. And so to try and go out here with your second unit and right that wrong.
See if Davi can double down on the celebration. Just denied the passing touchdown. And goal from the one. Spits it out low. Big hits. Still on his feet, Dwayne Thomas Jr. could not get away. It's a moral statement by West Virginia, isn't it? -4 on that tackle for loss. Jordan Walker there. Zay Jennings, too.
I tell you who didn't want to see that celebration twice. Zach Alley's defense. They've been hitting all day on the outside, too. Give them credit. We got an extra offensive lineman running off the field for UCF right now.
Because they substituted an official standing over the ball.
UCF takes their first charge timeout of the half.
To spend a timeout here.
This shows you how serious it is, right? They're down in the low red zone. They want to execute. Doesn't matter what the score is. It's about playing and executing to your standard, no matter who's in there, no matter what the time on the clock is. And so Scott Frost is going to go on the sideline with his quarterback newly in the game and make sure they're ready to go.
Our first visit to the Bounce House this season. It was a matchup of 0-3 teams in conference play. The Knights are going to get to 4-3 overall and get their first Big 12 victory, and they'll have a bye week to build off of it with Taven Jackson coming off a 277-yard passing day with a couple of scores.
Over 300 yards passing, 239 yards rushing on the day as complete an offensive performance, and you got the turnover you've been after on defense.
Keegan Smith, center, send it back to Belfort. Big stand here from West Virginia. Walker's been involved twice now. Someone lost a helmet there. That was Nick Taylor. Loss of 5, third down and goal.
We talked about that opportunity for the UCF reserves. Similar opportunity for some of the guys in the bench getting a chance down here in the low zone. They've knocked them back on every play. All UCF's done since they got shut out in the doorstep is go backwards.
A personnel switch for this West Virginia defense. A freshman from Brazil trying to close this out for UCF. There's a clock malfunction. The play clock was stuck on 40 for a long time while the
There's a malfunction with the play clock and the game clock.
You know who I'm sure was letting him know that? The offensive line. Down there sitting in their stances for 30, 40 seconds. You think it's easy to tote 300 pounds around like that?
Black unis in the sun.
Oh, you're baking all day. I mean, don't get me wrong. The black's at least slimming. There was nothing worse than wearing your road whites. You've never seen a more self-conscious group of big boys in your life than a bunch of us on the road in the white uniforms in the mirror trying to just press the gut down any way you can. It's not going anywhere. It's permanent, the last I checked. Black unis look amazing.
Clock operator,
Man,
please reset the game clock to 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Play clock to 40 seconds and start both on my signal. Thank you.
All right, so a little accounting there. 4:40 on the game. Back to full 40 on the play clock, and they'll wind both when the ball is ready for play. And it's 3rd down and goal. UCF started the day up 14-0. West Virginia got a 4th down stop and a touchdown to cut deficit in half. A touchdown, the only points of the day for the visitors. Belfort, once again, an off-frame snap. No trouble, slicing to the end zone. Touchdown, Davy Belfort.
He's got something to him, JB. That call and calling your own number in that spot, 3rd and 10 after all you've done is go back. What's the second time we've seen him leave someone touching grass in the open field?
All started with the errant snap, too. He did not flinch.
You know going in as a backup, too, it's never going to be perfect. There's a lot of guys that don't get a ton of reps together, and so to be able to cover up for some of those rough edges and make plays like that, impressive stuff from Belfort.
Extra point is up and through. Here in Game 7, 45 on the board for UCF, and back up. Davy Belfort punches it in here.
You see here, they call zone read. He corrals that snap and doesn't want to compound it by trying to work through the mesh point there, where you can put it in the running back's hands, pull it out late. Coming back over and getting loved up by everyone. Taven Jackson's got the helmet on still. He wants to hang out with them. So there you go. The celebration's so nice they made it twice.
His first college touchdown officially now. Denied the throwing, granted the rushing. That was the team that put 68 on North Carolina A&T back in week 2, September the 6th. So not a season high point total, but in terms of this level of competition, their most productive offensive day of 2025.
And now adds to, I think, the most important stat for UCF. Coming into this game, they had been 32-13 in falls after a fall Taylor Swift album release.
I was wondering where this was
Life
heading.
of a Showgirl comes out, make it 33-13.
Where did you have that written down? Let me see this.
4-4 directly after new Taylor Swift releases. We want to get the whole picture. That's the life of a showgirl, babe.
Kudos to Ken Landis, Adam Woodman, our host here at UCF. Thanks for a great week. Mike Montoro from West Virginia, assisting in our preparations as well. They knew their audience when they saw you coming.
A Taylor Swift note. I'm never going to pass up that opportunity. Lauren Jabara was stunned when she found out I was a Swiftie. She hasn't even listened to the album yet.
You guys, I know. I need to get with it. Like, I don't dislike Taylor Swift, but I don't think I'm a Swiftie then. I need to listen to it on the flight home today.
It's a nice, easy listen.
Is it good?
It's a tight pop track, laden album, tons of bangers in there. You're going to have a great time sitting there and head bobbing on the plane.
I can't wait. I'll give you a full breakdown of my thoughts after I listen to it.
Let me just mention, you're Hubbard with the reception, then you two can keep going. Feel free to take this to the finish
Listen,
line.
I mean, a Max Martin and Shellback production. You knew you were going to get big, loud, fun pop. It's the Travis Kelce inspired album. She's having a great time. She's engaged. They're in love. It's beautiful.
I love how passionate you are about this, Mike. Seriously.
I don't have a lot of hobbies, Lauren.
I know. We need to get you some hobbies.
College football and Taylor Swift. That's about it.
There was no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside of the pocket, and the pass went beyond the line of scrimmage. It's 3rd down.
Scotty Fox out of the pocket. Is able to.
I'm just watching your brain trying to figure out where to hit the dismount coming off that.
I didn't know whether to give you one more lap or to get back to 3rd and 4. Fox drives one. That is nearly intercepted. Jaden Gould driving on it.
Trying to find Rodney Gallagher again. Been a target he's gone after often since Scotty Fox Jr. came back into the game. But again, young quarterback, true freshman in the game. We mentioned the first true freshman quarterback to start for West Virginia since the 1950s. One of the things that happens is you tend to stare down receivers, and when you got zone defense and eyes on you, it gives them a chance to break and make plays.
Richardson says, get away on that punt, and it rolls down at the 24-yard line. All right, so 3:36 left to go. West Virginia still searching for an answer at quarterback. A tough offensive day, but you could spin that the other way, too. We've talked a lot about Taven Jackson. How about what the Knights have done defensively, building off of that strong second half at Cincinnati?
Yeah, again, when you know how to start fast and finish strong, which is something that's up at every football facility in the country, that leaves the middle to figure out. And you go out and watch the way they worked on the early downs. We talked about the defensive tackles showing up in run support in this game. John Walker having a great time. It gives you downs and distances where you force them into obvious pass situations. And when we saw that touchdown, it was a chance to present a blitz look, try and buy up the protection in the right way, try and get a free hit on the quarterback, and you earn all that by playing disciplined football for the other 2 downs.
Brock Hansel is the new quarterback for the Knights. He's a redshirt junior from Lake Worth, Florida, went to Park Vista.
Hansel, so hot right now.
Nicely played. Stick the zoom in and dismount and everything. It's been quite a day for you.
I don't have just one look, JB.
Can't turn left, though.
Not an ambi turn.
Final 3 minutes. We'll see how many references Golic has left.
Could do this all day.
UCF's going to get its first win over West Virginia in program history here in its 5th try. They're going to snap their October losing skid, which dates back to before Scott's return trip to Orlando. Back in 2022 was their most recent. Intercepted. The Mountaineers cap their day with a defensive highlight. Walker dragged down at the 1.
Great play by West Virginia on defense. We talked about the almost goal line stand on the other end. They're playing until the final echo of the whistle, too. As we see, new quarterback throws it into traffic over the middle. But how about Jordan Bridgewater at wide receiver? Running down, making a play on the doorstep. We saw what almost happened for West Virginia on defense when they made the effort play to get him out at the 1-yard line. You just never know. So Scott Frost's going to have stuff to clean up still off this game. That's what you love as a coach, going into a bye, coming off a win. But he'll also have great effort plays deep into his roster like that he can show off.
Wilkins' rushing touchdown of 6 yards, the only point so far for West Virginia. Scotty Fox has a snap sail over his shoulder. Able to cover it at the 20-yard line. Knocked off the doorstep, and there is the point you were making. Who knows, when you make a tackle and prevent a touchdown, what can happen next?
Just right through his bands, coming through hot.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Tough for Landon Livingston at center. Feel for him.
Before second and goal, we hit our 2-minute timeouts. All UCF on homecoming, 45-7. Homecoming there in Houston, like here in Orlando. Final 2 minutes, West Virginia and UCF. Fox hits the crosser. Smith-Brown to the end zone. 20 yards for Justin Smith-Brown's first touchdown.
really on the field as the runner was out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
Or not.
First and goal, West Virginia.
That left pylon on both sides really giving everyone fits.
They mark him out at the 1.
Coming right at it now, so we'll get a good look here. Ball's in his right hand. It looks like he's inside the pylon. Should be a touchdown, but
West Virginia gets it another way as they plunge in from the 1 with Hubbard. So with 1:46 left, all that should be left is victory formation for the Knights. The interception turns into a touchdown for the visitors.
just right up the gut. You see both tight ends coming across the formation to seal that backside, and just a good tough run by Dior Hubbard, and overcoming the bad snap on the first play of that drive. Puts that on the board.
Another miscue, unfortunately, as it clangs off the upright for Hensley. And so the score remains 45-13. Not the note that Rich Rodriguez and West Virginia wanted to fly home on. It's been a long time since their last home game. They'll finally get it next week after nearly a month when they host TCU.
Maybe a chance to go back and reset things. Talk about all the new faces and the programs. And it takes a while. Rich Rodriguez said when he got this job, hey, listen, we weren't able to go out and sign a big high school class. You got to go heavy into the portal. He's already said and been very candid publicly. Hey, next year we're probably going to sign a bigger high school class. We want to start to form that bedrock around here because we've got the benefit of time. And I think, JB, for new coaches, yeah, there's always going to be some of that influx in talent, the overhaul and churn on a roster because players can leave. But you look around the country at so many of the programs that have achieved stability in this era. It's still built through high school recruiting as your foundation, and then you go out and you find impact players in the portal. And Rich Rodriguez has said he believes he knows what it takes financially to be competitive in this conference, be competitive nationally, and he believes they have what they need here at West Virginia to do that.
Especially last week, you may have seen this headline that the university approved an additional 140 athletic scholarships, bringing the entire department to 400. That puts them near the top of the conference. And reportedly about 16 of those will be football scholarships. So again, pouring in resources to helping Rich Rodriguez get this rebuilt. You know, in his own words, he says no one's more impatient to win than I am. That's why we go so fast on offense. He says this week he's not giving up on this year's team at all, and every day he wakes up asking, are we doing everything we can to win right now?
And it just takes time. And I know that's not a fun answer in modern college football, right? Everyone thinks, oh, you should just be able to snap it into form. I think nationally we've been less patient than ever with new coaching staff, but hopefully that relationship here, the plan that he's laid out for them, and the success they saw him have in the prior stop, give him some time and usually good things happen.
All right, trying to run this one out now. 10 yards on the turf. Tyler Wren, running back from Fort Pierce, Florida, makes an appearance. All the deep reserves getting an opportunity to find the box score here on homecoming weekend in Orlando. Cancels second possession after throwing the interception. He's behind center. Take the play clock to single digits as he takes the snap. Big run up the middle to the 44.
They don't go back to the reflection pool after the game, do they? Cool off after a long day in the sun. It could be nice.
There's always room for a new tradition, and since you missed your first stop yesterday, maybe redemption in store. Six-game Big 12 losing streak is over for UCF as they get it out wide and incomplete. Looking for Jordan Bridgewater.
A chance for Hansel to air it out a little bit there.
Once again, the early deficit was the story of the day for West Virginia. It's been a theme to their first half. Outscored by nearly 70 points in the first half this season. And then UCF poured it on from there. 45-13 will be the final. It's an October win and one that Scott Frost and the Knights have been waiting for. It's a conference victory, and it is the first in program history against West Virginia.
Great step forward for UCF. Scott Frost can show proof of concept in the meeting room to a team that's been chomping at the bit for this moment after that 3-game slide. They've been close, but that only counts but so much. He wanted to see them take those big plays to the field, and Taven Jackson, the man we saw at the helm for this offense, helped make it so and really set the tone for a big day.
There on our way out is another injured West Virginia quarterback, Khalil Wilkins, with the crutches. Something that will surely be followed up on after this contest. Let's go down to the field one more time. Here's Lauren.
Thanks so much, JB. Appreciate it, Coach. You guys were able to capitalize in all 3 phases today. What did you like about your response from the last couple of weeks?
We made more big plays today. That's what's been missing. We've gotten plenty of yards and done good enough things to be in games. A couple plays like that change a game, and we got them today.
You mentioned those explosive plays. Taven Jackson, absolutely incredible. He found 10 different receivers, 2 on 4th downs. What did you like about his performance today?
The 4th down throws were great. Yeah. Really good adjustment by Chris Omercan on the first one. You know, we're having to play a lot of people because we got some guys nicked up, and a lot of guys deserve to play, and we're young, but I thought a lot of guys stepped up today.
You talked about turning him over. You did it twice today. You held him to only 210 yards. Defensively, what did you like out of your team's play?
Yeah, I thought defensively that's the most complete game we played. We've been playing well, just kind of a bust here or there and giving up a big play. We got turnovers and we didn't give up big plays today, and our defense can be really good if we do that.
And last but not least, how good was it to see Davi get one there in the 4th quarter?
Yeah, Davi's an addition to the team. The whole group loves him, and it was good to see some young guys get some run.
Scott, appreciate it. Congrats on the win. Go
Thank you guys for being here.
Appreciate you, Lauren. Thanks, Mike. Good to be with you. Coming up, the Big 12 College Football postgame presented by Geico. For our producer, Kevin Brown, our director, Brett Christan. On behalf of our entire TNT Sports crew here in Orlando, thank you for being with us and watching Big 12 football on TNT. Let's send it back to Liam and our studio crew.